Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Monster Hunter World Iceborne livestream. We're having another chat time together. Let's have some more conversation. I enjoyed yesterday night's stream, and I thought we could have a conversation about anything you guys want to talk about, okay? So if you want to talk about a particular thing, I will go down that road with you. We could talk about the news. There's some interesting Monster Hunter news. We know when Kulve Taroth is coming out. We know when Arch-Tempered Namiel are coming out. So this is an exciting time. I'm probably going to be playing just whatever will make my PC account stronger. Right now my PC account is so weak. So this is my weakest character, and I figure if we do a little grinding on my character, it will help him quite a bit in the long run. So you will see me sort of playing. I'll be focusing more on the chat room and on whatever we're talking about. I won't really be focusing on the game quite as much, so you can expect me to faint pretty quickly. Okay? How's it going, everyone? Daddy says, how do I get people to join my Kulve Taroth siege? You have to pay them. You have to pay people money and then they will join. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. It's Sync. How's it going, Sync? He goes by Maeve. Hey, it's just me and Sync. There's the session ID in the upper right-hand corner if anyone wants to join. He's in Thought Patrol. Do I think cross-platform will happen? Absolutely not. If it does happen, that's terrific, but I don't think that there's any money. You know, there's not going to be any money involved with them making it cross-platform. If it does become cross-platform, that will be really cool. Favorite dinosaur? I don't know. Probably the T-Rex. I'm a simp. My cat killed Bonboro earlier, lol. What's the must-have charms in this game? Oh, okay. Resentment and Agitator have gotten real strong. Free element ammo up's pretty good. All the elemental charms, you'll want to unlock those. The earplugs charm is pretty cool. Handicraft charm. Handicraft charm, he don't care. Let's see what else. Well, probably true spare shot. That one's pretty easy to unlock. You use it occasionally. I'm trying to think. I know there's more, I just can't think of them. Alright, here we are with our Sophagiva Poison Hammer and a sorta okay build. So I think this build is a wide range setup, and I'm just healing my teammates while they carry me. I think that's what's going on, and then I focus on the conversation that we're having. I think that's what's going on. Let's go ahead and drop this Slashberry, because you should never be using Slashberry ever again. Absolutely no reason you should be using it. Excuse me. I just ate a late night dinner, so now I have the coughs. Gotta clear my throat. Can you talk to the tracker, please? Nope. Super late stream. Thought it was more cards. Not tonight. Yeah, we already did some cards. Oopsie Doopser says, yay, something to stave off the 4 a.m. thoughts. What's up? Sync says, in before cross-platform announced in June. The biology charm, says Fan. Friendship charm. Oh, that's a good one. Master rank Kulve got revealed. I'm hyped as frick. Hi, are you going to be playing PC more often? That's a good question. I don't know. I just try to play whatever I haven't played very much. I try to give it a little more time. Alpha Sierra Hotel says, let's hope for no more politics in this stream. All right, guys, let's get right into a political subject. Are you on the left or the right? Javier says, are you doing Behemoth today by any chance? We could do some Behemoth. By the way, how many people do we have right now? Okay, we got a few. Is Slashberry really weak? Yes. Here, let's fight. Let's get a Raging Brachydios started up. Why would we farm Raging Brachydios? Because, well, probably because it will give me access to his weapons. Kuhn says, finally got Zenjiva Alpha Set and Xenorats. Am I in the United States? Yes, I'm in Missouri. A very, very, very boring state. The boring state of Missouri. What is the best gun lance? You know, in my opinion, it's still going to be the Sophagiva long shelling level 6. Everyone is really enjoying the wide shelling level 7 Raging Brachydios gun lance. I prefer the extra range, though, personally. Been trying to finish Extremeth, but every time somebody messes up around mid. Oh, that sucks. Well, if you join this session, I might be able to help you. Will Raging Brachy and Furious Raging get actual investigations? That's a good question. I don't know. Oops a Doopster says, you should make the most extreme explosion build possible. Yeah, I was asking a friend of mine to try and get a run against Kulv Taroth with the Bombardier secret skill, and but then I haven't heard back from him on that. What'd you have for dinner? Oh, okay, a bowl of soup, and that's really it. Just a bowl of soup. Caleb says, I'm in Kansas. What's up, neighbor? Well, we're not that close of neighbors. I have all my relatives in Kansas City, so almost my entire family is in Kansas City. But I'm actually closer to the St. Louis side, unfortunately. I'm closer to Illinois. But, we're like one state apart. Yeah, I've actually been in Kansas, too. Missouri, Missouri. Yeah, it's pretty boring out here. My wife and I talk all the time about moving to North Carolina. We went on a vacation to North Carolina. We did a bunch of calculations on the cost of living and the weather and, all kinds of stuff like that. Hurricane season. And we decided North Carolina, Wilmington might be an interesting place to move. Is this PC or Xbox? We're on the PC. What's the best way to defeat Kulv Taroth solo? Probably going to be Thunder Ammo to strip the mantle, followed by, if I had to guess, if you had to do it solo, probably the Great Sword. Total Carb says, have you guys seen the Kulv Taroth preview? I didn't know there was a preview. I thought they just posted like a Twitter post. Let's grab this real fast. Finally got my second expert jewel today. Nice. Let's go ahead and start softening things up. I read about it in Arch-Tempered Namiel, whoever you spell the name. What? Uh-oh. Oh, Peter. Oh, Peter, you didn't need to do that. You're wasting the second knockdown. Dracula says, I'm in Missouri. Where you at in Missouri, Dracula? Oh, and there goes he. So because you clawed him twice, we didn't get to throw him into the wall again. So you got to think about that. Oop. I'm probably going to die. There was a trailer. Oh, there was a trailer. Okay. This is usually the time you stream or just random stream. My streams are pretty random. What is a Missouri? They showed off new moves. That sounds exciting. Wait. Why am I alone? Looks like everyone got dropped. If I don't plan on farming the Sophy bows, is it worth to augment the old weapons? Glavinus, Toby. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, you might want to find out what you get with Kulv Taroth as well, by the way. Kulv Taroth should have bows. I've been farming Jagras Daddy the whole day for spread and no luck. Well, you shouldn't be farming the greatest Jagras. You should be farming the names of Lavasiath. This is based on... See, a lot of people are confused on that issue. They think that because you get a greater number of the worn face stones, that this will lead to you getting the decorations you want sooner. What'll actually happen is you'll get a lot more decorations that are easy to drop, but it's actually the warped face stones, the red face stones, that give you the highest chance for the rarest decorations. So when you're going after a real rare decoration, like maybe I think the Pierce and the Spread don't drop very easily. When you're going after those ones with the really low drop rates, Warped Face Stone all the way, because that's a bottleneck that Warped Face Stone breaks out of sooner, in my opinion. So yeah, there's some debate over which one's faster. I'm pretty sure Warped Face Stone's faster. Actually, let's check. Are people still here? It's just me and Roodles. What happened? Everyone got booted. Did you do this, Roodles? I bet Roodles did it. I bet you $10 bazillion that Roodle did it. It's all a conspiracy. Can't believe you do that to us, Roodles. What is my personal favorite weapon? Well, Heavy Bowgun is my most played weapon, but I'm a big fan of the hammer right now. I think hammer's feeling real good.
You're back. Good.
Lavathius doesn't give a Hey there, Gamecock. How's it going? It's cool. What did this guy say? Hold on.
How's it going? Yeah.
Big Burly Bash. Let's go get Big Burly Bash done. One Hunt DC hype. That's a PC special. PC disconnects are fire. audience. Isn't Burly Bash a... Where do you get Burly Bash? It's not a special assignment, right? No, it's not. Is it an assigned quest? Oh, it is. It's an assigned quest. Okay, problem solved. Oh, also, we need to open up that camp in Hoarfrost Reach.
Hello, Fiver.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, my God. Okay, here we go. Complete deliveries. Pending. Okay, we'll give this up. And this up. Perfect. Heavy Dragon Vein Bone and Prosperous Crystal. So we can't get the second Guiding Lance camp. That's annoying. Talk Politics, says Adam Steele. You should check out the new trailer. Interesting stuff. I probably will eventually. So far, which is your favorite system to play on Monster Hunter? Well, I have to be honest. The computer just loads much faster, which is really nice. But the problem with the PC, you actually just saw it. Not only does it load really fast, it also causes you to disconnect really fast. So we already DC'd once. I feel that that's an issue that the PC has that the PlayStation and the Xbox don't have. So, I don't know. It's kind of a mix, man. It's a toss-up. And then when it comes to mods, I don't really use too many PC mods. So, I used to. When I first got the PC version of the game, I'm like, I'm going to be all about the mods. But then I ended up just not using them too much. I don't know why. What's the best way to get a shield jewel? Well, if you want to talk about the very fastest way to get a shield jewel, you will want to do the event quest called The Name's Lavasia and farm warped face stones. You could make an analysis video of the new trailer. Get the sweet 10 minutes. Oh, make a 10-minute long video. I probably could do that. Any tips against Master Rank Kieran? I would say bring anti-paralysis and then bring your thunder resist mantle and bring your thunder resistance up over 20. So those would be the three things that make fighting Kieran much easier. After that, just play good. Don't play like me. Play good. Arson says, talking politic, you know what happened last time? Everyone agreed with you and kindly subscribe. That guy's like, all right, guys, we got to, he's talking about reporting me or whatever. I don't like his political opinion. We need to report him. And that's honestly what politics is today. They don't want to have a conversation. They want to deplatform you. And I don't know. What do you think fascism is? What do you think, when you can't share your political ideology? It's ridiculous. Everyone report him. That'll teach him. It's crazy stuff. Any mods you wish exist? Oh, actually there is one. If there was a mod that existed that allowed you to pit like 5 of one type of monster against 5 of another type of monster to see which one won the fight, that would be so cool, and I would happily make a series of videos about it. You know what I'm saying? So if it was like, for example, if it was like 5 Glavenus versus 5 Brachydios, I would make a video on that. That would be hilarious. Oh snap, I'm gonna die. So remove this. Give people a heal. 10-minute trailer reaction video. You won't believe number 5. Top 10 list. Top 10 moments in the reveal trailer for Master Rank Kolv. Names Lavacius is probably the best way, easiest way is getting silver melding tickets from Steamworks. Let's go ahead and get a heal going. Oh, and I just took that off like a big dummy. Politics is good to talk about, but there is a place and time for it. For example, all of the time. Yeah, actually, you can only consume so much politics before it turns you into like an old man. It can be a bit much. It can be just a little bit much. Life would suck if everyone talked politics. I swear I'd kill myself. Well, you know, it's funny. I think that politics and it's funny. People who enjoy politics often don't enjoy sports, and people who enjoy sports often don't enjoy politics. And yet, you find like groups of people who just they can watch sports all day. You find people who can watch politics all day. There's probably some people who are a little mixed. You know, they can do sports and politics, but it's interesting. It's like a form of entertainment. Politics are. Who's the yeetiest monster in the world? Ingaruga. Jump up here. We only saw what the armor looks like and how she liked 2 new moves, along with the fact that she's going to have her gold mantle and horns. Oh, good. Okay, so those questions were answered. She is going to have her mantle. So was the Cove update delayed, or were they not planning to release it in the beginning of the full bloom? I don't know. Craft A Bork says, "What are your thoughts on the Flora Frostbite farming method?" I have no idea what you're talking about. Sports and politics can suck my ass, says Jacob. I don't enjoy either. What does that mean? Nor it means you're an uncultured swine. I don't enjoy either. What does that mean? Alright, Brachydios, you mess with my friends, you're gonna get punished, man. Oh no, I've had enough of this. I'm running away. Mom! Got Mighty Bow from Lavasia. Let's go. Nice. What monster do you want to have in Iceborne? This is probably one of the most common questions I get. I want Barney the Dinosaur. I get that question all the time. It's kind of like the same question where it's like, what console are you playing on? Or when will Safajiva return? It's too common of a question. I have a question before I leave. How long will this stream be? Also, when will your next stream be? Usually streams last at least 2 hours. And then my next stream will probably be 24 hours from now, or 12 hours from now. I don't know. I just kind of stream all the time with weird schedules. Is Coral Tundra, then Volcano and Rotten in Guiding Lands still the optimal farming path? What? Oh my god, I got roared. Still want more KT noobs. How's it going, JV? JV and Arson return. There's still super mods. Super mods! GE wants Keizu, you fools. Yeah, they're never gonna give us Keizu. I've given up hope. All I ever wanted was Keizu. Do I ever get what I want? Nope. The feminists did it. Let's go ahead and heal. Oh my god. Why did I do that? I just literally jumped into it. Oh my god. That's okay. We can fix every problem with Mega Potion. Y'all ever drink the bean juice? I have no clue what that is. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. You know, I think the reason that a lot of conversations eventually turn to politics is the same reason a lot of conversations eventually turn to religion or relationships. It's one of those, like, it's one of those things that it's like a core piece of our lives, you know what I mean? So if you don't talk about politics, you must be talking about some other major important thing. It might be money earning, it might be, oh snap, I didn't realize he was ready to be turned. It might be money earning, you know, like your job, your career. It might be your relationships, it might be, you see what I'm saying? There's like some things that, they're so central to life that you always end up talking about them eventually. You know what I mean? Politics is one of them, but there's a lot of other things to talk about. It's the feminist agenda that's preventing Kate. That's right, I figured it out. Mrs. Une would look wonderful in Iceborne. Yeah, Mrs. Une's probably never gonna happen. Ah, get away from him! Let's get this heal going. I got all the heals. Oh my god. Do you watch anime? That's a question I get a lot. It's kind of interesting. I get the feeling that my audience watches a lot of anime. I watch almost no anime at all. I watch a lot of news. I watch a lot of political commentary. I watch a lot of debates. I love debates. I watch a lot of comedy. I guess I used to watch a lot of comedy. I don't watch as much anymore. I watch a lot of informational videos are probably what I watch more than anything else. So I will typically watch a video about what's going on in the stock market and what it means. And I enjoy watching videos that are related to like world news, especially if it relates to business. So all of those are really interesting. When I was much younger, that was like almost like a hobby of mine. It's just to watch whatever's going on in the world. I would just watch and wonder what's going to be the outcome. So like, oh, it will say some business is going, some fraud or something like that. It's going on with some business, or so and so company doesn't want to trade with so and so. Stuff like that. I really enjoy it. I could watch it all day. I don't know why. Would you watch political anime? I probably wouldn't. I think the problem I have with, if you guys didn't know this, it's not just anime. I really don't watch much of anything when it comes to like movies or TV shows. I have a lot of trouble with those. Although I did watch that Tiger King, because everyone's been enjoying Tiger King. I did watch Tiger King. I thought it was pretty funny. The documentary series. It was like a murder mystery. Oh, and Chris Hansen's really good too. I like Chris Hansen's Crime Watch. Yeah, I love Chris Hansen. Certain types of content's really fun. But lots of politics, lots of economics, lots of finance, lots of informational videos, and lots of world business. Those are like my main favorite types of content. Movies, not at all. I hate movies. I hate anything with a story. Hard for me to consume stories. My brain has a hard time like believing what's going on. You know what I mean? What about thriller movies? Korean has best selection of thriller out there. Do you mean horror movies? I actually do like scary movies. My wife can't stand them though, and she's tried. They're just too scary for her. She like has trouble sleeping, and then she's, it's so punishing for her that I've kind of given up watching scary movies. It's not a big loss. Monster Hunter World is a game that really appeals to otakus. I got the impression that you and your wife are cord cutters and don't have cable. I don't know what a cord cutter is. We watch a lot of our content on YouTube. We also have Netflix. Any Marvel movies? Andrew, I'm glad you asked because I want to share with you my complete disdain and hate of all Marvel movies. I cannot, for the life of me, understand why anyone watches hero movies. So I'm already kind of like this person who does not watch movies because I don't find them enjoyable. And hero movies are probably the least enjoyable movie out there. I cannot stand them. It is always exactly the same thing. Oh my god, there's a bad guy. Oh my god, it's a hero. Oh, the hero can't beat the bad guy. But wait a second, he obtains superpowers, and now he's brave, and he uses the superpowers to defeat the bad guy. Epic action scene. Who's gonna win? Oh, the bad guy's winning, but in the end, he never fully wins. The end. And that's it. That's all superhero movies in a nutshell. And they're so bad. And I feel like they're kind of like for, kids, I guess. But what I find crazy is a lot of adults enjoy them. It's like, wait, it's literally the same story, guys, over and over again. How are you enjoying it? So, I remember watching like the original Spider-Man trilogy that came out, and I was like, that's interesting. Remember with, what's his name, Tom McGuire or something like that? That was a long time ago. That came out a long time ago. I didn't like those. I remember there was an original Iron Man that came out. I thought those were stupid. I remember my then girlfriend was like, oh man, you gotta watch these new Batman movies by Christopher, whatever his name is, right? And it's all like, his approach is like, it's dark and it's realism. I was like, this is stupid as hell. Every single action movie, it makes me want to throw up. I can't take it anymore. Did you watch The Joker? I did. I thought The Joker was an unintelligent movie posing as an intelligent movie. Did not like The Joker at all. And actually I had high hopes for The Joker. I saw the commercials for it, and I was like, hey, we should go watch it. Because my wife, she loves movies. I hate movies. And I saw the commercials. I was like, hey, maybe this could be a clever movie, because I thought that the trailer was well done. They're very good at appearance in the movie. The movie has a lot of good imagery, I suppose you would say. So they choose really good imagery. But some of the thoughts behind the movie, and the actions and decisions behind it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, what's the message? There's no message. I don't, you know what I mean? I didn't enjoy it at all. I would give it an F. Christopher Nolan. Yeah, Christopher Nolan gets an F. The guy who made the Joker movie gets an F. Every single Marvel movie gets a huge F. F all of them. You should watch RE0. Wait, what? It is political anime. No, I probably won't do that. I love movies, and I respect your decision and taste of not loving them. Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good thing to say, I suppose. What made the Sleep Hammer so good in your opinion, and what would make it meta now? Calamafraga, that's a great question. So with the hammers and the greatswords, we don't really care about anything other than which one is getting the most raw damage, and that's it. And the Sleep Hammer was losing to the Diablo's Hammer by a very small amount. However, the Diablo's Hammer required a very strict build, and the Sleep Hammer did not, so you could build more defense on the Sleep Hammer, and that's why I ended up preferring the Sleep Hammer. But that was all the way back in the base game. Am I going to make a video about what they showed for Kolv and Arch-Tempered Namiel? I probably am going to make a news video. We had a fan was kind enough to write me up a list for the news, so I'll probably take a look over that and make a video out of that. But yeah, that's probably what we'll end up doing. Maybe we'll talk about what was seen in the trailers there. The Monster Hunter movie better have the Palico. Oh yeah, how's that going to work? It doesn't make any sense. Will it be like a 3D cat? What do you think of movies and such that delve into law practices? I don't really know what you mean by that. Delve into law practices? Who is your favorite Batman, and what do you think of Robert Pattinson as the next Batman? I think Robert Pattinson is a low-energy beta male. No, I can't stand the look of him. He just makes me want to throw up every time I see him. He's very gross. And then what is my favorite Batman movie? I don't have a favorite Batman movie. They all suck about the same. They're all terrible. Batman movies can suck my dick. Whee! Batman movies suck just about the same as Marvel movies. Milan says, can I see your build if you don't mind? I use hammer, or what hammer would you recommend? Paralysis or sleep hammer? Well, you shouldn't. Do you mean paralysis or sleep in the way of like esophageal sleep, esophageal paralysis? Because you really shouldn't be using either of those. You should be using the blast hammer. And the build I'm using is not a very good one. This is kind of like a poor man's build that I threw together with wide range on it. Danny DeVito will play the Palico. Monster Hunter movie should be a 1.5 hour long cutscene from Capcom. Yeah, not a big fan of movies. Over time, I've come to dislike movies more and more and more. I don't know. I'm just this kind of person who I have a lot of trouble sort of leaving reality. I think that's kind of what you do with the movie, right? You use a movie to escape reality. And I do that through video games all the time, but when it comes to movies, it's very, very, very hard for me to relate to like characters in movies. I got that good autism, guys. Don't worry. No, but seriously, movies are so bad. I read the scripts and it's like, who is the script for? Scripts like for 12-year-olds or something, and I think they are actually for 12-year-olds. It's probably accurate. Would you review the Oh, you better believe we're gonna be reviewing that Monster Hunter movie. I'm gonna give the Monster Hunter movie like a 10 out of 10. Just for Capcom. I'm gonna do it for Capcom because they've been such a good company. I'm gonna say this movie's a fucking 10 out of 10. The difference between Stream Gameconomist and Video Gameconomist is absolutely hilarious. Soom says, I joined the stream just to hear you trash Batman. Batman can suck my stinky man put. Okay, good to know. Farming for Sophie weapons, so I have most of the hammer. Just wanted to know. Thanks. No problem. The cutscene in For You were so good. Can we get a For You movie? Oh. Do you at least like Good Will Hunting? I do not know what Good Will Hunting is. I've heard of the title multiple times. I believe it's one of those classic movies that was real popular. Maybe if you remind me of the plot, I will remember if I watched it or not. I really don't watch a lot of movies, and that's on purpose. And that's because movies are terrible. What about really well-acclaimed movies like The Shining? The Shining's okay. You know, honestly, I didn't like The Shining that much. I think The Shining kind of gets more... It was okay. The Shining was okay. I'm not going to trash talk The Shining. How old am I? I'm 31 years old. I'm literally a dinosaur myself. I'm 1,000 years old. The movies, the 80s and 90s were the best. I do remember when I was in college, my my literature history professor made us watch a movie called like The Green Knight. It was the funniest thing ever. It was so funny because it was a movie. It wasn't trying to be funny. It was trying to be like cool, and it's so lame. It was I would have watched it in like 2017, 2018, and the special effects were so bad, and the acting was so corny, and the lines were even cornier. So it was actually really enjoyable. Do I like SpongeBob SquarePants? I love SpongeBob SquarePants. Hero. He is a straight up hero of mine. Monty Python? Yeah, Monty Python's actually really good too. I have nothing bad to say about Monty Python. They're great. I do enjoy comedy, especially good comedy. You should watch The Eternal Sunshine. Yeah, my wife is always telling me to watch that one. That has a... I'm trying to remember. Doesn't that like have Jim Carrey in it or something? Jim Carrey's cuckoo, man. Hope it doesn't end up like Resident Evil movies. Oh, it will. It will. It will absolutely end up like the Resident Evil movies. It will probably be worse than the Resident Evil movies, because if you think about it, they've had some practice with those movies. They've had no practice making Monster Hunter. Thank you. Regards, people older than 31. Well, you know, it's because I'm a video game streamer. My audience is going to contain a lot of younger, like kids even, right? So, but actually, you guys would be surprised to discover I should screenshot my YouTube metrics. The majority of my audience is between the ages of 18 and 40. Wow. We're all getting old, guys. Video gamers. When did Nintendo start with their Nintendo system? It was like 1980 something. Everyone's getting older from then. All the kids from back then. My very first Nintendo system. I don't remember how old I was, but I must have been real young. My grandma bought me a Nintendo 64. It was the best Christmas present I ever had, and then my dad threw it away because he didn't want me to have video games. I got a taste of heaven, and then it was quickly ripped away from me. The Monster Hunter movie is basically a 2-hour unskippable cutscene. Sounds annoying. 2-hour unskippable cutscene. By the way, do you know if the Steamworks Time 10 mode gives 10 times the override? I have no clue. The Steamworks is the least interesting aspect of the game. Just a little less interesting than the guiding lands. Do you think the new Monster Hunter game will let us all be in the same hub without needing the Gathering Hub mechanic? Suppose it's possible. Yeah, why didn't they just have the game be strictly the Gathering Hub? It is possible. Craftabork says, would you be up for trying the Flora Frostbite event quest farm? I probably would not. What do you actually farm? Is it for decorations? If it's for decorations, I'm not the kind of person who farms for decorations. I used to do that back on the Xbox like 3,000 hours ago maybe. And then I learned that the drop rate for the decorations is just so abysmally small that there's no point in fretting over it. Just play without it. You'll do fine. Sekiro is disappointing. How could he say that? Dark Souls is better. I actually agree. Dark Souls is better because Dark Souls has PvP. And that's really important. Sekiro is a really, really well-made single-player game, though. Okay, so let's see. How much of the... really limited amount, huh? I would love to pick up the Tigrex skill real fast. Store potential. To be honest, I wish other players can be in the base hub. You can't say that. Dark Souls sucks, says B52. Okay, mods, I need you to remove... No, I'm just kidding. Nobody talks bad about Dark Souls in my stream. How about Noah? I mean, Noah had a nice arc, I guess. I don't know. I think he means Neil. PvP in Dark Souls can itself. How could you say that? Loved PvP in Dark Souls. So much fun. Why not having a hub and just attach the Gathering Hub? What is the best defense build for Gunlance? I'm just going to tell you off the top of my head. I feel personally like if players could go into the base hub, it would feel too much like an MMO. GE, you excited for Elden Ring? I'm extremely excited for Elden Ring. Oh, let's remove this one. There we go. Alright, there we go. We got Tigrex Essence. I'm extremely excited for Elden Ring. You do not even know how excited I am for Elden Ring. I'm sporting a chub right now just thinking about it. Let's go ahead and grab some Tigrex. Wait a second. What Tigrex armor do I actually have? Yes, Radiohead is one of my favorite artists. I know he's a little mainstream, but he is really good. There's a reason why he's so successful. He is awesome. In fact, I thought I saw that he released something new recently. I need to check that out. So let's see, what do we got here? Speed eating. Speed eating, huh? Trying to remember. So we have one level on the hammer. I don't think I'll have any of the Brute Tigrex armor, right? I don't think I have any Brute Tigrex armor at all. Which means I rely on this. Guess we'll do the arms and the legs. They're speed eating free meal. Oh, you give up so much for free meal. Alright. Golden Obi? What the frick is a Golden Obi? Where's Furious? So we got Furious right here. Earplugs, Heroics, Health Boost. Hippity Hoppity Health Boost. Nah, we need this coil right here. Volcanic Crystal. Probably can craft it. Running along. Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Oh, by the way.
Oh my god, stop. Meld items. I just do not have the Brute I don't have the Brute Tigrex anything. I just unlocked level 70 in the Guiding Lens. I can't talk. Forge equipment, armor. Who needs it though? Who even needs it, honestly? Wait, I still don't have what I need? Oh, I crafted a Legionic Crystal. Let's get... I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. Take this game from me, guys, please.
Good to see you.
So what do you guys want to talk about? You guys pick something to talk about, and I will talk about the thing you pick. We could talk about if the carpet matches the drapes. I don't know where I'm going with this. We could talk about how they're turning the freaking frogs gay. We could talk about how we're so violent toward animals in this game, and it's just not right. Alright, we got the Max Might secret, right? Coronavirus! Coronavirus! Coronavirus is not really doing too bad of a job where I live. It's not killing that many people. We have, I think, 120 people dead in my entire state. It's still sad. It's really not as much as they were saying it was going to be. Much less people, actually. Fortnite. Yeah, let's talk about Fortnite. Penis enlargement pills. Yeah, those. I should get a penis enlargement pill company to sponsor me. These kids want to talk about Fortnite. Dr. Fauci. Yeah, Dr. Fauci, he had like one interview with CNN and he said something that made it sound like Donald Trump sucks. And then Donald Trump's like, okay, we're going to fire Fauci. He didn't say that actually. He like retweeted a tweet. But nothing's going to come out of it as far as I can tell. Darn it. Ooh, can we upgrade the friendship charm? That would be nice. Aw. We can't upgrade it. Heard about Bill Gates? No, I've never heard of him. Who's Bill Gates? Let's see. Hey, mister. Ever heard about this guy named Bill Gates? Wide range. Wide range. Here it is. Aw. Bruh. Alright, so there's wide range 5. Wait, what happened? Oh, I took it off from another location. There's wide range 5. We should probably have health boost. What did I pick? Oh. Oh. Wow, these are all terrible. Actually, Tenderizer Vitality is really good. So we'll take that. We'll take Destroyer. And Wind Resistance, even though it doesn't help even a little bit. So we'll go ahead and drop 1 level of Tenderizer, since we don't need it. We have level 3 Speed Eating. We have Free Meal Secret. What am I missing? Do I have to add Gobbler to the build? Is that what we're missing? Isaac says, hi, is Blight Resistance worth it instead of raising Elemental Resist to 20? I'd say no. I would go for the raising the Elemental Resistance. You should watch the trailer real quick. Now that's... I don't want to, not right now. Some Mad Lad said, Madeira is massive compared to anything currently in the game. Hey game, what did you think about the Kulftaroth the Namiel mini trailer? I haven't watched it. Honestly, I've watched a lot of trailers for Monster Hunter at this point. I've watched pretty much all of them. They all basically do the same thing. They say, here's the upcoming monster. You see the monster swing around a few times. The end. And then the monster comes out. And when the monster comes out, we'll know more about the monster, but you don't really actually gain a lot from the trailers. That's my impression of all the trailers that I've watched. None of them make me go, oh my god! Oh my... I never, like, jump out of my seat like, I can't believe it! That just never happens. So, I'm sure I'll be playing that with you guys soon, Arch-Tempered Namiel and Kulftaroth, but I could watch the trailer tomorrow, I could watch it next week. It's not really going to make a huge difference in the experience. Just watch the anime, you'll get it. Calling it now somewhere down the line, wide range secret. Weeb says, Monster Hunter in space, even if they disclosed about the Earth. What? Speed eating is not free meal for Tigers, TGE. What? What is he talking about? Free meep. Corey says I need to add free meep. I actually agree with this. Why don't we have free meep on the build? Alright, we'll post a quest. Let's go ahead and post. We could go to the Guiding Lands, to be honest. God, I don't want to go to the Guiding Lands. Going to the Guiding Lands is basically the opposite of what I want to do. Do you play Charge Blade? Yeah, I do play Charge Blade. I've had a good amount of practice. I would say that I play Charge Blade. Do you play Dota? Nope, just Monster Hunter. I play Monster Hunter, and then later I play more Monster Hunter. I gotta be up in a half hour, but Gaming Economist is stream. Obviously, one takes... Thank you very much, Opsy Dopesters. Do you play Charge Blade? The trailers are the anticipation, though. What's to come? Yeah, it's funny, man. I've been. How long has this game been out? Let's find out when this game came out. What was it, like 2018? Came out January 2018. So think about that for a second. It has been over 2 years right? Because we're in the halfway through April. It's been over 2 years. I've been watching over 2 years of Monster Hunter trailers. They're all the same. Hey, XYZ monsters coming out. And in this case, I guess the better question would be, how hyped am I for Master Rank Cove and Arch-Tempered Namiel? We've fought the Arch-Tempered monsters before in the base game. In general, the Arch-Tempered monsters, they were like a more spongy version of the regular fight, the tempered fight. They typically had one or two new moves that were really cool and scary, and then you would get a new set of armor. The end. With with the Master Rank Cove, I'm a little more excited for that because I think there's more room for creativity. Probably they're just going to make her spongier. They're probably going to add like 2 moves. The end. I've fought Kulve Taroth a bazillion zillion times in the base game, so many times. I've even now fought her a number of times in Master Rank. So the grind never ends. I don't know how many times I've fought Kulve Taroth. It's too many times. All I gotta say is I'm not super hyped, guys. It's an Arch-Tempered monster, and it's the return of Kulve Taroth. It doesn't have me as hyped as like Safajiva had me hyped. Safajiva had me a lot more hyped because I'm like, oh shit, we're getting a new monster. This is not really a new monster. Neither of them are. You are actually missing free meal. Am I? It says I have free meal 3. What are you talking about? It's right there. Alright, let's go ahead and eat. We're going to get my seed. We're going to get demon powder. And we're going to get mega demon drug. The armor looks good. You should see it. I think I saw like a picture of them. I don't know. It looked kind of like her old armor, didn't it? Speaking of Arch-Tempered Cove, what is the best Thunderlight Bowgun now? Is the Safi one worth it? Yeah, if you're not playing on PlayStation and you can't get the Horizon Zero Dawn Light Bowgun, I would just go straight to using the Safajiva Lightning Bowgun. How about Elytrion? I am excited for Elytrion. I will be watching carefully for news on Elytrion, okay? So he's legit. I'm hoping he is a brand new fight and a brand new experience. I am legit excited for him. But Kulve Taroth, come on, man. You fought Kulve so many times, guys. So many times. So I guess the question will be, how different is the fight? And if it's not that different, you're not really gaining as much as you think. It's another grind for a new set of slightly stronger weapons. That is exactly what it'll end up being. You know everything about this monster. I fought Kulve so many times, when I'm laying on my deathbed, I'm not going to be going, ah man, I wish I had fought Kulve a few more times and gotten more hyped for it. It's just not going to happen. Arch-Tempered Namiel, I think that Capcom has a chance to prove themselves with like good game design when it comes to Arch-Tempered Namiel. They need to find a way to make the fight even more fun. I don't know if they'll be able to do that. I feel like they have been following formulas the whole time. They've been following formulas for Iceborne. The formulas hardly deviate from what they did in base game. It's essentially the same formula every time. I think that probably Arch-Tempered Namiel is going to feel exactly like every Arch-Tempered monster. Remember Arch-Tempered Kushala Daora? I would like cringe when I would queue that fight up because I was so uninterested in fighting him. But you had to fight him because you needed his armor set. And the sad thing is, once you had the armor set, which you normally had the armor set in like 2 or 3 runs, you're just done after that. You're just done. You didn't even have to fight him anymore after that. You could go for like the layered armor or whatever. Arch-Tempered Nergigante, he was a good fight. I liked him a lot. He was pretty tough. So he offered a lot of replayability just because he was fun, a multiplayer aspect. That's what they should try to aim for with Namiel and with all the Elder Dragons in terms of being Arch-Tempered. But Elytrion's probably what I am looking forward to. I don't know, guys. I don't know how to say this, but it's like I fought Kulve too many times. I can't get a boner for Kulve Taroth. It's just not there. Maybe when she comes out, the fight will be so amazing that I will just discover that I'm in love with the Kulve fight again. We'll find out. I don't see it happening. I can tell you're more interested in the monsters and fights themselves than what they bring to the table build-wise. Oh yes. So this is another thing. So having played the game for 2 years now, what you learn is that they incrementally increase your power in this game. And it's kind of meaningless because as soon as you get comfortable with the new level of power that you have, they just introduce new weapons and new armor. And it's like this never-ending loop. But it doesn't really change the gameplay. You see what I'm saying? So like, what happened? We had gold Raytheon weapons, and maybe some Nergi weapons were really good, and then they brought out Safajiva, basically negating all those. Oh right, we had acidic Glavenus weapons. So we had some acidic Glavenus, some Nergi, some gold Raytheon. Then we had, you know, like maybe 1 or 2 Rajang weapons were good, maybe like the light bowgun for sticky. And then Safajiva comes out, and it replaces all the older weapons. They're just totally obsolete. And Raging Brachy weapons come out, and now you don't even have to fight Safajiva. So you do all this farming for Safajiva in order to obtain his weapons, only to discover the majority of his powerful weapons. You could just fight Raging Brachydios a few times and not even have to do the Safajiva quest. So, and because the weapons were essentially equivalent in damage output. And then we're going to see probably something like that with Master Rank Kulve Taroth, right? So when it comes to builds, you have this power creep where whatever you're enjoying right now is not going to be what's powerful in 2 months. In 2 months, whatever you're using is going to be obsolete. And they do this because they have to. But I guess it's annoying at the same time because none of the rewards were really that hard to obtain. That's especially bad for Safajiva. His rewards are really not hard to obtain. But yeah, I'll be interested in Latreon a lot. I hope they really do some spectacular things with the Latreon. Spelling her feet so long, probably the reason you can't get a hard on. Yeah, we played like heck over Kulve Taroth, and when they said they didn't want her weapons to go to waste, I think I kind of already had a suspicion they would bring her into Master Rank. Well, that's what they're doing, and we will find out soon how good of a job they do, how fresh the content feels. I feel like, yeah, I don't know what to expect. Let's go ahead and heal up. Ho ho ho! We got you guys. Ouch. Will you think Elytron will replace Safi sets? I mean, it has to. It absolutely has to, or else nobody's going to fight, you know, Elytron. It absolutely has to replace this stuff. Just like when the Behemoth came out, you know, the Draken set was super important for making pretty much all builds. All builds pretty much became Draken armor set builds. Oops, I didn't even realize I was that close. Need some new mechanics like the Clutch Claw. Oh, ouch, that hurts. Am I KO'd? Nope. Does he seem taller than usual? He seems even taller than usual. Ride him, cowboy! We got him! I kind of miss how in 4U there was these weapons that were super expensive to make, but once you got them, it was awesome. Yeah, the weapons you can obtain in Monster Hunter right now are just so easy to obtain. Is that Furious Brachydios? That is Furious Brachydios. Do you agree the Clutch Claw completely ruins the balance of weapons? No, I wouldn't say it completely ruins the balance of weapons. I just wish it wouldn't interact with weakness exploit. That's all I have to say. I wouldn't go that far. I think that people pretty universally don't like it, which does not surprise me because it's just not that fun. And my rule is always, whenever you're game designing, everything in the game needs to be fun. Raging Brachy is always tall. You can fit it in the Discord, probably a large raging brick. What? Throwing a little bit. Just grab him by the helmet. Come here, you. Oh, that's hurting. Uh-oh. I better get out of here. Alright, go ahead and heal up. Woo! When do you guys think they'll ever add underwater fights again? Underwater fights coming in the next game. We need the giant snake dragon back in Monster Hunter World, the one whose body is literally the rotten veil. Oh man, I'm about to die. There we go. I don't like the clutch claws, so I am now a gunless main, and got to say I love they forced me there. What? Oh, forced me into using a gunless. I have a new girlfriend, and she's way better than my old girlfriend. Becky. Is the Zenogre event quest still the option to farm still the best option to farm decorations? What are you talking about? Zenogre? Zenogre was never the best option, right? Who told you Zenogre was the best option? Ouch. Oh, he gonna kill me? He is... Oh, nice. I was getting ready to die. How can you tell if the Monster Hunter World monsters are male or female? Well... You have to look real careful at the crotchal region. I only ask because I missed my gold beard Kata's armor from Monster Hunter 3U. So beautiful. Sometimes I forget the Clutch Claw exists. Oh no. Clutch Claw exists, and it interacts with Weakness Exploit, the most important skill in the game. Is Max Might Secret valuable on Hammer with all the charging? It is actually. It actually is valuable. That's because by the time you reach the final swing of your brutal big bang, this one move right here, you usually almost always get all your stamina back just in time for Max Might to activate. Woo! Bonus rewards. I got a VIP full bloom ticket. Whoa! Got another Destroyer Vitality decoration. We could probably trade out with that. I say we have a fight against the Extreme Behemoth now. What do you guys think? Alright, let's go to customize radial menu. It's already there. Perfect.
Hey.
We got Doryman, Roodles, and Throno. Do you have a good no weakness exploit build? Yeah, pretty much anything with explosive damage. Session ID Bleeze. There's the session ID. Whoa, we're full tonight. Yesterday night we were like totally empty. My big titty goth girlfriend has stopped talking to me. She says she's not getting Robux from other guys, but I don't believe her. What do? Oh my god. Hunty says, which longsword is better, Bracky or Safi Shatterblade? I'm pretty sure you can use either. Proud Cheater says, do I need to use Weakness Exploit when using Insect Glaive? Isn't critical enough? No, you gotta have a Weakness Exploit with the critical. Or are you talking about Crit Eye? I don't think Crit Eye is enough. Why not fight Brute Tigrix event for armor? Oh, that's a good point, Kalamafraga. Maybe I will. Oh, that's a very good point. Let's do that next. Cameron says PC or PlayStation 4? Negative. This is a Kenmore smart fridge. Hey, mister, what console are you on? Mister, what console is this? Did I already do this? Whee! Uh-oh. It's the big meanie. The big green meanie. Brr, he's so mad. Okay, we could KO him in stage 1. We could do that. Do you want a trading system? No, I do not want a trading system in Monster Hunter. You know, it sounds good on paper, but in practice, if you think about it, it will just further reduce the meaningfulness of all rewards. Because literally everyone's going to have every reward, because we're all going to have... Oh, that's sad. Is he going to go ahead and bring in the meteor, though? Yeah, he is. If you think about it, if you implement a trading system, you're going to have all these guys running around with the good stuff that they didn't earn, and it's just going to feel terrible. Like, if you want to do a trading system where you can give your friend, like, 20 potions, fine. But I think already that exists a little bit, right? Isn't that how it already works? I never trade in this game. Now the console and PC are in sync. Would you want crossplay? I would want crossplay, yes. Crossplay is a good idea. Do I think that they're going to implement crossplay? Not at all. They're definitely not going to do that. There's no money involved. There's no money involved in sitting down all your engineers and telling them, alright, you're doing crossplay now. You're going to set up crossplay. There's just absolutely no money. Oh man, I hope he doesn't break that rock. Ouch. Oh god, here it goes. Better start running. I made it. Oh, they're all dead. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, we had feline insurance and safeguard. That's what I'm saying. Extreme Behemoth. Still the most dangerous monster. Easy. Alright, let's get down there. Now the console and PC are in sync. Is it Behemoth or Extremoth? This is Extreme Behemoth. Wrong trading systems, TGE. We're talking about trading monster parts. No, see, again, that would just make it easier to... Oh, I'm sorry. I just allowed myself to stagger there. I'm in trouble. Yeah, he's got me. Trading systems will cause imbalance. It won't cause imbalance. It will just shorten the life of the game and make the game easy, you know? It'll make the game so casual, basically. Alright, let's get this back out. I'm gonna get rid of my bleed. There we go. Brrr! Feline safeguard. That is so cheating. Taco's like, WTF, you're still up? Taco, I'm always up. When are you gonna learn, Taco? Ta-da! You're healed. He got me. What makes a smart fridge so smart? Well, it went to Harvard. Hey there, did you see the teaser video? Everyone's like, did you see the trailers? I did not. Apparently I need to go see it because it's the second coming of Kultura. And it's like, you either see it or you're a loser and you didn't. James says, we mean you can buy Monster Hunter parts from Monster that aren't in the game from an NPC. What? That would be weird. Do you think they should have a reviving mechanic? Yeah, they could definitely add a reviving mechanic. I think that could be fun for multiplayer. If they do that, they also need to balance the multiplayer. For example, if they make every single fight in the game a one cart death sort of fight, and they could make it so that you don't die, you just need to be revived. But if everyone goes down and no one can revive anymore, I don't know, that wouldn't work too well with this game now that I'm thinking about it. That might not be such a great idea. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I'm right in the middle of the field, man. He picks me. Alright, let's get these damage buffs. Demon Powder. Might Seed. Alright, so we're good to go. We should have that damage buff for the rest of the fight. Oh, nice. Let me try and stack those. Alright, so they're on top of each other. At least they overlap, which is nice. The trailer says Mommy Cove and No One Cares. Namiel comes on 2304. What? It's between my online courses. Well, there you go. Is there a way to get low and high rank monster parts instantly, or do I have to farm the same monster 50 times? Generally, you have to farm the same monster 50 times. It's sad, but true. Oh, really? I'm so far away. Oh, no. Okay, Roodles is in a good spot. We should be able to use that. Poor Roodles. Uh-oh. Oh, good. Good choice, good choice. Oh, God, please make it. Was that the third or the second? It was the second. Uh-oh. Oh, scared me. Oh, it's over. Oh, what did I get hit by? Maybe I did roll at the right time. Oh, he's definitely gonna go in there. Okay, he's dropping it on me. I'm gonna bring it over here. It's gonna be nice and easy. Watch us all be on like the wrong side of the comet. Wouldn't that be funny as hell? Is there? Oh, I already read that one. Petition to merge canteen skills, feline booster and groomer into feline boomer. Do I collect pop figures? What are pop figures? I definitely don't. I collect Pokemon cards. Did you know that? I have a quite a large Pokemon card collection at this point. I think I sold like $2,000 of Pokemon cards today. MGM says, I think I'm going to need more than 50 minutes to beat Master Rank Cole Taroth. Why did he wake up? You could do a ton of damage. How do you heal so quick? I just drink faster than the average person. It's called being properly educated. Do I collect pop figures? Is math related to science? Duty complete. I got duty in my booty, and it is totally complete. Wow, look at all these nice things. Dago says, hey, you should do a video on Event Quest The Name's Lavasiat. With the Cure and Divinity set bonus, I got Guard Up Deco after 5 tries. Seen it in one of Iceborne YouTube video comments. All right, guys, we're all gonna wear Kieran Divinity, and we're gonna get so many good decorations. If there's some sort of proof that Kieran Divinity gives you more, face stones, I would actually make that video. I don't actually know if that's true, and I don't want to spread false information. I'm trying my best not to spread false information. It's so easy, guys. Just because you wore Cure in Divinity doesn't mean that it's improving your face stone rewards. It could just be a case that that was your time to get it finally. Okay, we don't want vouchers. We want gourmet vouchers. To this day, I do not know. To this day, I do not know what Cure in Divinity does. I don't have factual evidence of what it does. If somebody could give me evidence, like proof, like data mine proof on what it does, I would make a video. I would be happy to make a video on that, because I've always wanted to know. Can we tay Ancient Lesson? We cannot tay Ancient Lesson. Juice Boy says, is there our particular way to farm in the Guiding Lands? Yes, you hook yourself up with a heroin drip feed straight into your veins, and you lay back and you hope your teammates do all the work, because it is the most boring thing in your entire life. How is Maximum Might secret? Enzu is really not bad. It's not bad at all. Check it out. So we get 50% affinity from Max Might Secret and 50% from Weakness Exploit. It's pretty good. You know what? You guys start up. I need to grab some fresh items. Cure in Divinity gives you extra rolls on rewards if you have it during start of a quest. Yeah, but is that like... Well, first of all, again, Randaroo, I would like to hear maybe like an authority talk about it. You know what I mean? So like, if you found that out because somebody data mined the game and discovered that's the way it works, send me a link to that data mine. I would love to know. So that's the first thing I'd have to say. The second thing is, what exactly do you mean by that? Do you mean the roles as in the event rewards, or are you talking about the investigation rewards? So it's kind of a more specific thing. No Brute Tigrix, says Calamafraga. Oh, I'm sorry, Calamafraga. I went on another one of these. We'll get it. I heard crack gives superpowers. Heck yeah. It does. Boop, boop, boop. Max Might gives 40, not 50. Yeah, the other 10% is probably coming from, yeah, right there, Crit Eye. So we're getting some from Crit Eye. Actually, what else are we getting it from? Did we start out with 5%? That's weird. Why am I'm not trying to Big Bang. Why are you farming Extremith? Because I totally need to farm Extremith. We're helping Make Loss. Well, this is the Let's Have a Chat stream. That's why. I'm not really too interested what I do in the background. We're supposed to be having a good conversation, guys. What would you guys like to talk about? Talk about anything, like how to deal with the fact that your mom is a Karen. Get that heal going. Sophie weapon 5%. Oh, that hurts. Alright, we got the stone out here. What's your least favorite monster? Barney the dinosaur. Damn, imagine having friends. Sophie War 5. We need the good powder, guys. Where's the good powder? Next Monster Hunter World crossover. We're going to have a huge Monster Hunter Dark Souls crossover. It's going to be amazing. We're going to get to fight Madeir. There's going to be patches. Patches the character, for those of you who don't get the reference. What's your sleep schedule like? It's pretty bad. I think that's the best answer I can give you. What schedule? What is a sleep schedule? Just kind of go to bed when I collapse. I told my girlfriend that she would get it longsword style with the foresight slash. Oh, damn. She better take those words seriously. Are you affected by COVID wherever you are staying? Yeah, I mean, I think everywhere around the world is affected by it. I guess it depends on what you mean by affected. Like, am I changing anything in my lifestyle at all? Actually, no. I didn't go to the movie theaters already. I didn't go to baseball games already. I don't hang out with literally anyone. I've got friends. I have not hung out with my friends in like a year. We just don't hang out. Obviously I don't hang out with anyone from my family. I haven't seen them in years and years, so I just don't hang out with them. So actually my life has literally not changed from COVID-19. I stayed at home and played video games, and today I still stay at home and play video games. It's exactly the same. Everything's exactly the way it used to be. I guess my wife, she works from home more now. She used to work from home 3 days a week. Now she works from home 5 days a week. So that's different. You know, I don't got those 2 days to do whatever I want while she's out of the home. That's it. That is it. Everything, I mean, my life was pretty much quarantined already. Can't convince me it was any other way. Shut-ins unite. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Is mayonnaise an instrument? No, Patrick. You're very giggly. That's right. Deep down, I am a giggly 15-year-old girl. Girlfriend is despairing because she can't go out and I'm here chilling. LMAO. Girlfriend can't go out. What monster from another franchise would you like to fight Monster Hunter style? I would like to fight... What monster from another game would I like to fight Monster Hunter style? I would like to fight the Elder Dragon from Minecraft. Come on, make it happen. Can I hunt with you? Negative. You can only hunt with me if you're part of the... You can only hunt with me if you're part of the Evil Eye cult. If you're not part of the Evil Eye cult, you're just not invited. Damn, how many lives we got left? Alright, we got that on the border. Don't do it. Don't screw me, man. He's exhausted. Nergigante does the evil eye. Meth is demon powder. Crack is dash juice. PCP is fortitude. What? How do I join the said cult? You must be the chosen one. How do I join said cult? You can give stuff like might seeds and potions. Since we got ancient lesson, we can theorize about humanoid bosses. Like Barney the dinosaur. That's right. Give me Barney the dinosaur. Where's that going? Where's that going? Oh my god. Okay, okay, okay. It's fine. Thought we were in trouble there. Okay. What other games do I play? Well, I play games with my wife. Oh, snap, snap. We're gonna run into that wall. Oh, snap. That's a wall, too. Okay, let's pretend that we don't run into walls on purpose. Let's just heal everyone up. Oh, I saved Doryman! I saved him! Oh my god, I can't imagine that we have a lot of lives left. Well, I'm gonna smack this bitch. I'm not close enough. Will this be the horn? Give him the demon drug. We'll give him the might powder. We'll give him the might seed. Oh god, please put that in a nice spot. Oh no. Actually, it's fine. We're good. What are you guys doing? Wait, how is it? Did we win? Oh, thank God. I do not know what. I think Doryman disconnected. Doryman's like, hit the internet switch. They already made mod which replaces Silver Rathalos into Untitled Goose. Which master rank do you have on PC? I have the one and only master rank. Do you think they should make more jiggleable armor like the buff body chest? I mean, absolutely. Game communist, that's right. We all are equal, and it's only the bourgeoisie capitalists who are trying to make us into slave-master relationships. We must seize the means of production through violent revolution. It is the only way. And only then will we have a utopia. Do you ever plan to play Monster Hunter GU on the Switch? I already did, Vicious, and it was very old technology. There was a lot of cool monsters on there, but it was very old technology. Like super duper old. So old. PC has plenty of jiggleable armor though. That's true actually. The jiggle physics on PC can be enhanced. Contract. Woodland Spirit. Where'd it go? There it is. So give me my share of your subs, unemployed commie. You can have all the ones that don't agree with me politically. When do you think that we will get Master Rank layered? When do you think that we will get Master Rank layered armor? When Capcom runs out of ideas. So they're like, okay, we will have to give them what they want now. Doryman says I DC'd. We noticed that. Need an anti-Safajiva longsword build to farm her. Did you just say her? Did you just assume Safajiva's gender? Survivor says, I want my Namiel layered armor ASAP. Namiel armor's ugly, man. I won't make fun of you for your choices. But secretly, I kind of will. Secretly, I'll be like, haha. It's got that feline safeguard, apparently. Dude. In the past, I just want to say this. In the past, both of those runs would have been wipes. Because we had one extra life with feline safeguard that kept us going. And I think that's correct, right? We had one extra life. Yeah, if we didn't have that, that would have been a wipe. And we would have had worse weapons. We would have had worse armor. Like, considerably worse weapons and armor. Ex-Behemoth is still the strongest monster in the game. How's it going, Magic Time? Next mission, can you fight Arch-Tempered Lunastra? Yeah, let's go fight Arch-Tempered Lupastra. You should do some vlogs so we can see how beautiful you are. I would describe myself as an easy 10 out of 10. Safi is male, he act like a dick. What? That's extremely unwoke of you. You skipped Brute again, lol. Also, I want that invisible owl in a DLC. There's an invisible owl? Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Jump over here. If you want it that bad, you can still download the Monster and World Transmog. Don't kink shame is 2020. That's right. You're all degenerates. You're all degenerates. The only thing you can do is have missionary style sex with your one wife until you've both had 3 children together. That is the only thing we allow. Anything else, and there will be beatings. Lashes and beatings. I wonder if we could do like a very honest, like what if we could do 100% honest review of the most popular kinks. I wonder what they would all be.
Use fire to drive away those revolters.
Don't leave. Don't do it. Boop. Alright, that was good. Let's go ahead and put on our flash pods ahead of time in case someone gets grabbed. Alright, we're set up. We got them flash pods. Okay. And I say that... Oh, that hurts. I say we go ahead and get our buffs out. Get this Mycete. We'll get a mega potion. What is this non-Christian language? That's right. Frickin' hedonists. Frickin' hedonists. How are we going to have a strong country if you guys are all hedonists? It's not allowed. You all need to be good Christians. Brr, he's so mad. What a little bitch. Here you go, Ronda. It's on me. Definitely foot fetish is one of the most popular. I've heard that foot fetish is an actual thing. And I thought, you know, I've seen ladies' feet. You know, I like good-looking feet, but I will never understand foot fetish. It's too much of a simple body part, you know? Too much of a simple body part. I'm telling you that because I too wanted an armor that wasn't layered ready. I grew tired of waiting. Puppy RP, but I'll do a dry rub on the grill if no other choice. I'm a simple man. Furry is popular, says B52. What do you know, B52? What aren't you telling us? Come clean and we won't judge you. What do you know, B52? Ted says furry is not a fetish. Ted's like, maybe for you. Like, what are you talking about, man? I touch myself in my furry outfit to GE. That sounds acceptable. Let's go ahead and get this going real fast. What's your kink, GC? Ah, man, wouldn't you like to know? See, we got a not safe for work channel in our Discord server, and every day people post in there, and I'm just not allowed to post in there. I'm a professional YouTuber. Hello, can't be going around talking about my fetishes. I'm gonna lose all my sponsors. Oh wait, I don't have any sponsors. Are boobs not simple? Yet they're admired. If I showed the world GE and my Discord chats, he'd be in trouble. Probably forgot that combo. Did you? Wow, is this guy trying to hold me hostage? Why can't we stay with boobs and booty? Furry is a disease. B52 says, I'm not a furry, I swear. Confirmed furry, everyone. Monster fetish. Do you know if safe scumming for infinite investigations on the Xbox works? What? Who is still safe scumming? God, man. I guess it's because I've been playing this game so long. I don't know what it's like to feel desperate enough to do all that work. All that extra work when you can just play the game the way it's meant to be played, you know? Alright, where's he going? Running, running. Doo-ba-doo. You know, I'm a monster hunter. When I see furry, I do my job. What? Actually, I wonder if you could take... wait, we don't need a demon drug, do we? I wonder how many Monster Hunter players are also furry fetish people. Go ahead and eat this. Uh-oh. I can't believe I just missed that. I can't believe he just landed that. I thought that was too far away for him to land that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ouch. Oh, no, I'm KO'd. The amount of Handler Rule 34 is ungodly? Wow, it sounds like you're aware of how much Handler Rule 34 there is. How do you... Uh-oh, I got grabbed. Nobody's gonna save me. I'm definitely dead. Oh, they saved me! Oh, they didn't mean to. Oh my god. I'm going to throw the longsword player up and away. Brrr. I want to suck Rajang's big monkey banana. Wow. That's amazing. I mean, I don't know why you would feel that about a fruit. Chad says, hunt your mom? As long as the furries aren't attacking my dog, go ahead and be a furry. That's not very gamer of you. I have a third eye, that's why. Oh, we all have third eyes. Rule 34 handler, you say, says Nicholas. More like Rule 34... Ugly beat. No, just... Oh!
Careful there, partner.
It's a lifestyle, not a fetish. Oh my god, are you serious right now? Oh. What? What happened to my...
You might be able to weaken its ability to summon monsters by damaging its hearts. Uh-oh, you've been marked. The jackals are gonna make a beeline for you now, so watch
How
out.
did I lose my slide? Oh my god, I'm sending the longsword player flying. Of course it doesn't work on him, it's so freaking... How does longsword player get to be immune to everything, huh? Somebody explain. Somebody explain how the longsword player gets to be immune to everything. Freaking longsword. Oh, you think he's just gonna smack me, huh? He thinks he's just gonna smack me. Longsword goes for the trip. Longsword trips the whole freaking team. Ouch. Seems about right. Oh my god. Someone somewhere out there probably looks like the handler and is disliked by the millions of monster hunters because she's not good at looking enough. Nah, nobody looks like the handler. Handler is uniquely ugly. You know the rule, sock it in, flinch free in case you meet a longsword. Blech. 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 Biden has a mean talk, but I've been practicing my linguistics. I should do well in the primary debates. Not even one flinch free in the group hunts and a no-go for me. What? What if Capcom made the Rocksteady mantle so longsword users control hammer mains? Oh my god. Wow, that was amazing. This was so much culture and so fun fighting Ancient Leshen. Wow, talk about the drama, guys. Where's the drama? This is called chat time. Where's the chat? We need drama. I'm going to type it in the text. I'm going to talk about it in the chat section. We need drama. We need drama. I usually just kick longsword players from the lobby if they trip me once. That's one way to do it, Durin. Oh, you tripped me, huh? You're freaking out. You're out of here. You tripped me one time with the longsword, did ya? See ya. Waiting for Trump to pardon Joe Exotic so he can become the next president. Would you say the event armor is decent mid-game? What? What if Capcom made the Rocksteady not kill me in 0.0001 seconds? Let's go ahead and post. We're going to go up to Master Rank. Would you say the event gear is good for campaign playthrough? I mean, I don't know. I think I saw it and I thought that one or two pieces were okay. God, I haven't felt poor in this game in a long time, so I guess I just don't pay that close attention. I notice a lot of questions are focused around needing help with that kind of stuff. Wait, it was an event quest, right? He said it was an event quest. Oops. There it is, Aurora that splinters the sky. Ancient Legend is so boring. It was my first time I made myself sit through the entire hunt. See you later, Randaroo. Pacific Park Games says, let's talk about Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud was a gross man. He was an evil patriarchist. Fitz says, longsword players have small peewees. Angel says, what takes priority, the Furious Raging Bow or the Raging Brack Bow? I would take the Furious Gora Magala Bow. People who don't have flinch free have smaller PP. What? That's not true. Can't come after me like that. Oh man, it is getting late though, isn't it? Let's go ahead and have a meal. I dubbed this conversation uninteresting. We need to have more drama. Freud wanted to frick his mom. What armor set am I using? I'm using 3 pieces of the Jagras armor and 2 pieces of the Dodogama set. Rymian says, a friend of mine is hellbent on using Rocksteady even though he dies really fast when using it. I like Rocksteady. Chad says, let's talk about the fact we are hoping Trump wins, even though I voted for him originally. The idea of Biden making me scared Trump may possibly not win. Law, WTF, I'm American. Dude, every time I see a clip of Joe Biden, he's always like, he can barely talk. There's like, you guys can find these now online. There's compilations of Joe Biden making 0 sense. And they come out with new compilations of him not being able to talk like every single day, it feels like. It's really bad. Here is the drama. I drag gravel for construction while listening to your stream. Aw, man, you drag gravel? Man, you got to get a sexier job. Like, how about professional photographer for naked ladies? Demon Miner says, so I'm trying to get into other weapons like bowgun. This isn't drama. Demon Miner, where's the drama? Be like, I want to hear about why your parents divorced, Demon Miner. Was it you? Were you the reason? That's some good drama. He's like, so I'm trying to pick another weapon. I was circumcised at age 12. True story. Ooh, that's a good one. What do you guys think about that? Should parents be allowed to circumcise their children? Should that be legal? What do you think about overuse of plastic? That's actually an interesting topic. I think that, and that's a tough one. When it comes to like saving the environment, it's a really tricky subject because it's like a lot of the environmental problems actually come from developing countries who usually have no laws about protecting the environment because their primary focus is on growth. They don't really care so much about, oh man, is the earth going to be clean? All they care about is, are we going to grow faster and be able to feed our kids later? You know, because if you're really in a developing country, you're talking about some people who get to live in maybe a bit more of a middle class, upper middle class lifestyle, but plenty of people who still sort of live in slums, right? So, oh, nice. So yeah, even if we were to become very, very clean in America, you would still have a lot of problems in other countries, and then you could say, okay, we agreed to hurt ourselves economically in order to follow these new clean standards. You're going to play the same game, right? And they're going to say, no, we're not. And this is kind of a big deal because China's one of the developing countries. China's the second largest economy in the world, and they cause a lot of the pollution, including plastic, including greenhouse gases that we're all super frightened of. And we want to hurt ourselves economically, but they're, you know, we don't really have a way to stop them from doing what they're doing. And they claim to want to help as well, which is good actually, but it's not like we could just shut them down. So it's an interesting problem. I feel that there's probably a technological solution that should be pursued, not just a, okay, we're going to ban all straws. There's probably a technological solution. And the question is, maybe should the government create an incentive for companies to pursue finding a way to solve our issue with plastic and other unsustainable materials, as well as removing greenhouse gases. I was actually watching this NBC, it was an NBC like report or something like that. It was like an investigative report, and it was talking about how Chevron and Excel, those are two giant oil companies, are investing right now in this technology that actually removes greenhouse gases from the air with these huge fans that just suck the, I guess they suck it right out of the air and turn it into a solid and store it into the ground. And it wasn't just them. Bill Gates was investing in the same technology because they think is going to be able to essentially stop the whole global warming problem. And I thought, see, this is what we all need to be working on, is something like this right here. Like, it's an opportunity for new jobs, and it solves the problem. And I find technological solutions to be very satisfying, rather than just saying, okay, we're not going to have cars, we're not going to have airplanes, we're not going to have air conditioning, we're not going to have beef anymore, we're not going to have cows anymore, right? So the idea that maybe we can invest in technology that solves the problem is, if it means that the government will need to subsidize companies that work on this sort of research and development with protecting the environment, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yes, it's more government spending, but it's a certain type of government spending. And yeah, I'm actually still interested in those kind of things. I think it has to be done well. It's not an easy subject, and honestly, I don't think it's. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a really interesting subject. It's one that is kind of like the gun control subject. I'm still on the fence on it. I'm still trying to figure out where I stand, and I'm always listening for new information, which you guys probably are too. Hey, Economist, do you by chance know how to get Cove Taroth Laird armor? I do not know how to get it. I don't really care either. I'm not a huge Laird armor fan. Do you ever use a face cam? I've never done a face reveal. I've thought about having a face reveal, maybe like fund, where you guys can leave me a tip and I'll face reveal for you. Or we could just wait till I reach like 200,000 subs. How do you feel about the trash can, the filter plastic out of the ocean? How do you feel about the trash can, the filter plastic? I don't understand your question. Is your question, should we be filtering plastic out of the ocean? My answer to that would be yes. But you know, a lot of this trash actually comes from countries like India. If you ever look at them, they have some really, really bad situations over there. They have like no regulation at all. They just dump all the trash into the river, literally. Actually, my mother-in-law, she just came back from living in India for a full year because she was having cheaper cancer treatment over in India, and she was talking about it, and it's just, they're just apparently, depending on where you go, they're just not very good at cleaning up the trash at all. It's really dirty. So you'd be surprised. The United States and a lot of developed countries have the luxury of being able to work on these things and improve, but it's usually developing countries can't do it. GE, we've seen your face, bro. How's it going, Jimbo Slice? My portfolio went from 242K to 178K. You have to stay in it for the long haul. Bitcoin is extremely wise to invest in before all coins are mined out within 1 to 2 years. Nah, man, I'm just going into Pokemon. Believe it or not, I'm actually treating Pokemon as a serious investment at this point. I've been collecting Pokemon cards for 9 months now, and I've seen it. I've seen the cards appreciate. I've learned about baseball cards. I believe that the Pokemon company isn't going anywhere anytime soon. It's Japan's largest media company. It's a popular video game in the United States. Yeah, I'm actually investing in cards, believe it or not. LT Jackass says, I don't want a face reveal, I want a nip reveal. Well, you're going to have to sign up for my OnlyFans for that. There is technology in the development to fish out plastic out of the ocean. Well, I guess the question, James Dice, is who's really responsible for building that technology? Because if you're not doing the majority of the polluting, should you be doing the majority of the cleaning? Which I'm assuming that's expensive. Blazefire says it's actually not exactly. India dumping is all just that all the plastic comes from all the other countries and is being swept there by the ocean, I think. No, actually, India is still a developing country where a lot of manufacturing does occur, and they don't have like a trash and sewage system like the U.S. does in certain places in India, and it's just really bad, dude. Like they have like a whole trash river that just is extremely, extremely toxic, and that trash river just drains into the ocean. You go look it up. You go look it up. You'll see for yourself. You can Google search it real fast. You have places like the Philippine Islands has problems like this. Places in Africa actually have problems with this, and it's a very serious problem. They cause a great deal of the trash that gets into the ocean. What's your best OG familiar card? Familiar card? What are you talking about? Pokemon profitable? Hypo Train Pokemon has been extremely profitable. In fact, more profitable than the stock market has been for me. Okay. Oops. So I was lucky enough, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I was lucky enough to invest in the stock market before the crash, and then I pulled all my money out of the stock market. So what happened is maybe like 4 months before the economy crashed, I had bought a bunch of, I remember when it happened. So it was back in September. I bought a bunch of Capcom stock before the sale of Iceborne came out. I bought a bunch of Capcom stock, a couple $1,000s, and then Iceborne did well. I made actually quite a decent little chunk of money from capital gains. And then what I did is a little while later, I sold it all. And so I sold it all and made a bit of a profit from all the capital gains. Okay, so I pulled all my money out of the stock market, and then the stock market crashed. So I did very well, actually, avoiding the crash. And then there are these Pokemon card booster boxes I was buying, and they appreciated like crazy. There were these booster boxes I was buying for like $2,400, and they're going for like $4,600 now. That's like literally almost double what I paid for them, and they did that in like half a year, almost a full year roughly. They've almost doubled in price, and it's what the hell. So I've made on the purchases that I've made a lot of money actually in the Pokemon cards. Renderer says, if not for cleaning endemics in Indian rivers, all of them would have been swamps long before written history. Yes, interesting. It's a subject I'm not perfectly familiar on. It's stuff that I would still learn about, yeah. Riddle says, where do you buy stocks? Well, you don't buy them yourself. What you need is you need to open up a broke Stockbridge account, which you can do very easily. I use a company called E-Trade, but there are other very similar companies. And basically, it's very similar to opening up a bank account, but it's a bank account where you can say, hey, I want to go buy so-and-so stock. And then what you do is when you buy that stock, you actually have to pay a fee. So you pay E-Trade to make the trade for you. It's like $14 per trade or something like that. And then you can say something like, okay, buy me 5 Google stock. So that's how you buy stock. And then your money's in the market. Your money is in the market and subject to going up and down depending on how well the market does. So, be careful. Chad says 36K for booster now. Oh, hopefully someday, man. Hopefully someday. Derwin says, what do you think about people complaining when billionaires donate a fraction of their wealth to the good causes? Right, so, I heard about this. Jeff Bezos, he donated like $100 million, and people are like, are you kidding me? That's a drop in the literal bucket. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I've heard arguments like you could just flood let's say you're running a food bank and Jeff Bezos takes $100 million and just drops it on your head. What are you even going to do with the $100 million? You don't really have a way to spend the money in a useful way. Like I guess you could go out and buy like $100 million of food, but it will all go bad, right? It'll all go bad before you give it out. So you don't need that much money at the start. What you need is just enough to take care of everyone, and maybe you could use some money to expand, but it's a strange thing. So just from a practical point of view, he could just dump all his money on everyone, and it wouldn't necessarily get the supplies needed. Like, for example, you can't just buy all the masks in the world just because you have more money. All these countries are competing for the masks, and at some point they're going to say, we're not giving you masks. It doesn't matter what you pay for them. Our people need some masks. But yeah, it's a weird thing because he has so much money, and when you hear he only gives 100,000, you're like, oh, you could have given a larger fraction of your wealth. But then again, he gave $100 million. Who does that, right? Who has $100 million to give? So it's definitely a weird thing. Parts broken. That was fast. Alright, let's go ahead and buff. But that one's a good question, yeah. Who's to say that he doesn't give more soon in the future, right? He may just be giving in marginal pieces. I've heard that Bill Gates is very philanthropic. Like, he does a lot of investing in research. I remember reading about, who was it? It was was it Remington Steele? I remember hearing, no, it wasn't Remington Steele. Who was it that built the trains, the train tracks? Can't remember. It started with an R as well, did it not? Let me look it up. Who built the train? Vanderbilts? Might have been the Vanderbilts. Oh, I'm looking it up. Oh man, I feel like I'm thinking of the Vanderbilts. Vanderbilt family, one of the wealthiest and most prominent families in the United States, the third generation of Vanderbilts. Okay, interesting. So the Vanderbilts, I remember hearing about how wealthy they were, and they would teach their children about charitable giving, but they would teach their children not to simply just give the money away. They said it was very important that the money was actually put into building hospitals, schools, and libraries. So they liked to donate their money, but they didn't like to actually just give cash. And I find this concept to make a lot more sense now that I'm older, and I've been through this whole thing with my wife and her parents. Her parents have trouble with money, they just have bad spending habits. And it's interesting because it's like no matter how much money you give them, they're always going to have those bad spending habits. There's nothing you can do about it. It's kind of like giving somebody who's a drug addict more drugs. They don't then make good decisions with it. Well, that's what it's like when you start to give a bunch of money to somebody who's like just bad with money. They don't suddenly start making good choices with their money. The reason why I feel familiar with the subject is because her parents were actually trust fund babies. They received a ton of money in the form of an inheritance, and then they received like $140,000 from their son, her brother. So they received an enormous amount of money. But to this day, they're fully 100% broke. So the Vanderbilts, I believe it was the Vanderbilts. I remember reading this book about building wealth and developing assets, and it was talking about charitable giving. And it was talking about how the Vanderbilts didn't really believe in directly giving money. They believed in building institutions. And they believed that the institutions were actually much better for the poor than if you simply gave the poor money. And so I feel the same way probably. When you have somebody like Bill Gates, he could just take all of his money and give it to us, right? And we would all be real happy. But then what would all the poor people do with that money? They'd probably go buy lottery tickets, and they'd probably buy sneakers, and they'd buy, they'd probably buy a bunch of booze. I don't know. They would just handle the money very poorly, which is the heart of their problem in the first place. Did that really just miss him? God, he was so close. But you see my point. So the Vanderbilts would build institutions. So when it comes to Jeff Bezos giving money, I guess the question I have is, what other philanthropic things does he do? And what are his plans, his charitable plans? Maybe he doesn't just want to give his money away. Maybe he actually wants to build some meaningful and lasting institutions like a school or a church or a hospital. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Rockefellers. Was it the Rockefellers? I can't remember. The Rockefellers sounds like the other name with the R that was. So there was the Remingtons, and then there was the Rockefellers. I can't remember which one it was. It might have actually been the Rockefellers who believed in that. Maybe they don't know the concept of cash flow, drugs. I would buy friendship. That's why they are poor. But anyway, so yeah, so now you've heard a little bit about that, this experience I've had where I've learned there are people who are just, they're poor and they need help. and they want you to help them, but you can't just give them money. It'll never help them. Money will never help them because their very first problem, the whole reason that they're poor, is because they don't handle money correctly. You know, they do stuff like give $20,000 to a church, which just makes no sense. It's like, all right, but the guy running the church lives on a $3 million ranch. Why are you giving all your money to him? You know what I mean? And you don't live on a $3 million ranch. He does though. Or you do stuff you go on a fancy vacation across the world, but you don't have anything in retirement. You don't have anything saved for your medical needs in your old age. You literally save nothing. So you have people who they don't know the value of money, and they don't know how to handle money or what to do with their money that's productive and protects them for their retirement years. And this is one of the common reasons why I don't believe wealth redistribution does a very good job of making people wealthy. Because usually, if you've stayed poor your whole life, the real problem is that you have a very serious like psychological addiction to spending. You have a psychological addiction to spending where you spend all of your money. You're never capable of putting some of your money away, which is pretty much the only thing you need to be good at in order to become wealthy over time. Like, okay, so you might take longer to reach, having a nice nest egg than some other guy just because of the career you choose. Maybe you go into, I don't know, let's pick a job. Let's say you want to be a middle manager at Walmart. And so, yeah, it's going to take you longer to become wealthy than somebody who decided to become a lawyer. Oh, he's asleep. Can we capture? Nice. So yeah, it will take you longer, but as long as you spend less than you earn, you will eventually have a lot of savings. Arson says it was the Bernsteins. Okay, so all you really need to do to become wealthy is to spend less than you earn, and as you get older, as you become an old man or woman, as you become an old man, you'll become a wealthy old man. If you have a really good paying job, you'll become a very wealthy old man. If you have a poor paying job, even you can become decently wealthy. You can have like $500,000. You can, just have that $500,000 set up so that you provide, enough money for yourself to get by with mixed with your Social Security. And you can move to a poorer neighborhood, right? So you can move to like where I live, Missouri, where the cost of living is lower. So don't live in Hawaii where the cost of living is astronomically high. Move to Missouri and just pull out a small amount of your $500,000 and live off of that and the Social Security check that you collect. So you can get by on a smaller amount. But again, the problem comes from people who they're not capable of doing that. They're so bad, they spend 100% of everything they earn, and then they use a credit card to spend ahead of their next paycheck. So the credit card companies, that's pretty much exclusively what they're there for. They allow you to spend money that you don't have. And what does that mean? You're spending ahead of your credit card. So you're so bad that you've spent all of your income and some of next paycheck's income. Is crazy to think about even. So, her parents are struggling with that, and I just see the fallout of it. And we have a situation where we could just hand them cash to try and help them, but we realize, no, they won't spend the cash right. And so, going back to Bill Gates and maybe Jeff Bezos or other really wealthy, they're not the only wealthy guys in the world, by the way. There's a lot of wealthy people out there. They probably are also very aware of this. They're older themselves, they're wiser, they know how money works or else they wouldn't be rich. And they know they can't just give their money to the poor and expect anything good to happen. What you need to do is have a job for people who are poor to go work at. That's far more important. And the poor need to be educated so that they know to put their money away into savings rather than spending all their money as soon as they get it. And that's really hard to do. It's really hard for when you meet somebody who has like a spending addiction, because that's what it is. If you're not capable of saving some of your money, you have a spending addiction. Or maybe you have a really shitty situation that you got yourself into. Like, let's say, you're a mother of 5 and you got divorced. Maybe it's his fault. But I think even in those cases, you get like alimony, you get government support. So I don't know. Whatever the case is, part of being successful at life is finding yourself in a situation where you're capable of spending less than you earn. And people really, really, really struggle with that. It's funny, it's so bad because in America, we think it's normal basically to just go into tons of debt. We treat it like it's just this normal thing that everyone is going to be doing and should do. I don't know if that works for the millennials. They don't really gain shit to put it on the side. Vlad says, rich old man playing Monster Hunter. I wish I was a rich old man. Well, I don't wish I was old, but I do wish I was rich. Jojo says, if everyone is rich, then no one is rich. No, that's not true, Jojo. That's actually like, that's another one of those sort of capitalism is evil points of views. And the concept here is we can't all own the means of production. But no, I don't actually believe in that. I believe when you create a product, you've added wealth. All right, so printing money does not create wealth. And the funny thing about socialism and communism is often the government has to print money in order to make up for a lack of money because whatever their problem is, maybe they're taxing real high, it kills innovation. All the innovation goes to a capitalist country like the United States, and then you don't make as much. So there's no new product in your country, lots of new product in the United States, and you find yourself having to print money. So you've got a situation where you could either print money to try and have enough wealth to go around, or you can have a country full of entrepreneurs and savers and investors where new product is designed, and that's really where all the money's made, is where when a new product is designed, you've created wealth. So can everyone be rich at the same time? Actually, yes. Everyone can be rich at the same time. You can have people who have lots of money and they want to. It's essentially what already kind of happened in the first world countries. So when you compare the wealth in a first world country to like a third world country, it's like night and day. Like they're trying to get by on like 50 cents to $1 a day in a third world country. In a first world country, you've already spent like $5 on your Starbucks just to start the day out. It's shocking the difference in the amount of wealth. And could the America only exist with the other poor countries existing at the same time? No, not at all. You know what happens when another country develops a middle class? They start to buy your goods. So, for example, China, they have a growing middle class. What happens when you have a large middle class in China? China starts to look over at America and say, hey, we got some expendable income. We want to buy some of their stuff now. So, you know, having a rich, what would you rather have, a poor neighbor or a rich neighbor? I would actually rather have a rich neighbor because they're going to buy my stuff. They're not going to beg for my money. And they're going to keep their yard nice too, by the way. So the idea that we all can't be rich together is just not true. All right, let's go ahead and forge equipment. Yeah, that's actually kind of an important idea, that idea of whether or not we can all be rich at the same time. It's actually an important one. The helmet is actually not that good. The chest. Here's the arms, the coil, and the legs. Well, they're not that different, actually. Okay. If everyone's gay, no one's gay. That's right, Arson. Arson hitting us with the good logic. If everyone's beautiful, no one's beautiful. See, that's not true either. You could all be 10s, and you would know it, that you're all 10s. You'd be like, yeah, we're fucking 10s, man. We're hot as hell. You would know it. You'd look around, you'd be like, man, we look good. We did a good job with the gene pool. We did a good job with the gene pool. Got all the hotties. Oh, man, wouldn't that be nice? What if in the future we're all tall and beautiful and sexy and schmexy and we don't get cancer? People don't talk about that enough, you know, trying to get humans to not have so many diseases through like, I don't know, through like selective breeding or gene manipulation. We talk about this stuff. It's like sci-fi future stuff, but everyone gets creeped out by it. But man, it is so the future. We got to get 100% behind it, in my opinion. We got to get 100% behind it. You know, men are always complaining about being like 5'9". What if you could just, you know, tell the doctor, hey, you know, I want my son to be 6'2". Bam, he did it. How amazing would that be? If everyone was 6'2", no one would be 6'2". TGC, do you think it's possible to straighten the exponential financial graph? What are you talking about? The exponential financial graph? I don't know if you're referencing something. I've never heard of that before. I know how exponents work on a graph. GN says, would you recommend investing in the stock market right now? It's funny you say that, GN. I had recently invested some money in Google, and the market rose, and I just sold off my Google stock, and I made about $600 on that. And I am just going to stay out of the market for now on. I actually am a little too nervous. I'm a little too nervous to invest in the long run right now in the stock market. There is one stock I'm still holding on to. When when Saudi Arabia and Russia had their big fight, I I bought a whole bunch of oil stock, so I've still got oil stock, and I'm just going to stay in for oil for the long run. But I sold off the Google stock because I'm just too nervous about what's going to happen in the long run. I think there's a little bit of like short-term, what's the word? Maybe like speculation that things aren't going to be so bad. I don't know. My gut tells me that as badly as I would like to be very positive about the future, I think that the long-term effects from the coronavirus are going to affect the market. I think that, so this is what I think. Donald Trump's all like, oh man, we're going to open up in May, we're going to get back to work, right? And I think he can try to. I think the truth is the media and our own politicians have been so effective at scaring us over coronavirus that nobody's going to want to. So if today Donald Trump says we are no longer on lockdown, you guys can go out and do whatever you want, I think you will see a small surge of people, especially like young people they don't have any fears about the coronavirus or anything like that, or people who are especially desperate to get back to work. I think you will see them get back to work. I think the vast majority of Americans will still practice social distancing, and they'll be like, no way, Jose, definitely not doing this. Get him, guys. Beat him up. MG's using the lance, huh? Uh-oh. And he's knocked down. Why is the quality so poor even on 1080p? Is the quality poor? Oh, Jojo says exponential as in the rich being rich and the poor being poor. Hold on, this guy's gonna roar. Yeah, I think overall it will probably deepen. I think that... Okay, that already broke, right? I think overall it probably will get larger. The wage gap probably will get larger. And I think this is because... Hold on, let me get away from this guy. Oh, let me think about it a little bit. I would expect the wage gap to get larger because I guess it's because I have a low trust in people's financial intelligence. Okay, so it's not like there's not opportunity for you out there to become wealthy yourself. It's just that I don't actually think Americans are getting financially well educated. I think most Americans go to school and you are taught to become an employee. You're not really taught to open up a business. And I think most Americans kind of just want to believe you're going to get like UBI. You want to be angry at the wealthy rather than becoming wealthy, right? You don't see yourself as part of their group. And nobody really reads books on wealth anymore. I don't think they do. People don't like to read those kind of books. People are busy playing video games. I'm playing a video game.
We have an emergency.
Uh-oh, we have an emergency. Don't smack me. Oh, snap. Don't do it, MG. Yeah, I believe the exponential wealth line, if that's what you want to call it, the wealth gap will actually get larger. because you will see guys like Jeff Bezos continue to make the right move all the time, and you will see people who are poor never really adjusting, never really making a correct decision for themselves. Just so you know, Quick Draw Greatsword is better to hunt Furious Rajang. Quick Draw Greatsword is good for probably nothing. Jojo says, wage gap, financial gap, that's the term I forgot. You know, the thing is, when it comes to the wage gap and all that, there's again, two concepts I would actually talk about. First of all, eventually people do eventually die, and they stop earning. And when they pass their wealth on to their kids aren't necessarily as brilliant and successful and hardworking as they are. So there's plenty of cases where a lot of people who inherited wealth really just waste the wealth, and that wealth is just permanently gone. There's other cases where people just don't have the children to have the legacy where the wealth continues to get passed on because there's not enough children to pass it on to. You know, there's plenty of cases where wealthy people don't have children. And then on top of that, I would say there's still a lot of opportunity for poor people to become wealthy by starting up successful businesses. Okay, so you think that most of the wealth, it just comes from investing? I don't think it does. I think most wealth comes from the development of a brand new company that solves a new problem. So for example, some teleconferencing and online small business companies are about to do extremely well because they're going to adapt and help people with all of the changes from the coronaviruses. Those people are going to become millionaires in like a few months. They're going to become millionaires. So this idea that we're all stuck on this exponential curve line where, okay, I'm invested, I get the compound interest, you don't, you can't ever become wealthy. There's a certain degree of truth to it, but there's also still, again, this sort of elasticity where if you're, oh no, I dodged it. If you're capable of starting a business that solves a serious problem for society, which is really what money is all about. Money is all about solving people's problems, right? Like, are you bored? Well, here's the Gameconomist here to talk to you. So I've solved a problem for you. You're not bored anymore. Well, that's really what money making is all about. It's so funny. They don't really teach you that at school. It's like one of the most basic concepts, and you just don't learn that at school. You learn about, you know, membranes and cells and some other useless information for a job you're never going to have. You know, biology degree. One of those degrees that doesn't help you too much. Let you become a biologist, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so you don't learn a lot about money making and starting businesses, and honestly I feel like they want it to be that way. The people who set up the curriculum, you know, one thing people do not like, if you want to talk about, so it's not like I didn't take the sociology courses where they talk about strategic wealth, you know, what do they call that? I can't remember the term for it. Basically it meant that you protected your class very carefully by manipulating others around you or creating barriers of entry to market. You know, I get that they don't want you to think in the terms of I should start a business, because if you start thinking that way, you're going to be a competitor to another person who starts the same business. But that's really what's so good about the free market, is everyone's capable of trying to make the same business and competing for customers, and this drives down the amount of profit that everyone makes. So yeah, you make less profit because there's more competitors, but often this is what causes a lot of the innovation as people try to differentiate from each other and provide superior services and stuff like that, right? So the competition's really healthy, but at school you don't really learn about, I feel like at school, especially high school, like if you go to college for becoming an entrepreneur and business, fine. But I mean, especially for high school, I don't know how much they teach you about being an entrepreneur and running an actual business. Like when I was younger, I was homeschooled, and I've always talked about this, the homeschooling was really bad. But my father also ran a successful home business where he was making so much profit that the IRS audited him and told him, hey, you have to get a small business license. So this was actually where I spent most of my formative years. When I was between the ages of 13 and 17, I spent most of my time helping my dad run his small business. And I look at myself now, and that's kind of like all I do now is I have like this card business that I'm running. Basically it's like a card business, and I have YouTube, which has lots of management decisions to be making, product I'm working on merchandise right now. I'm working on that with my wife, and you think a lot about how to create a better video, how to create more entertainment, and you just put in a lot of hours, a lot of work as the owner of the channel. It's funny, a lot of the same mindset, the hustling mindset that my dad had, ended up becoming very important for me for operating my YouTube channel. Well, anyways, you go to school and you don't learn about that kind of stuff. I feel like you learn about, well, I mean, maybe it's really good for girls too. You know what I mean? Like they sit down, they read a book. The teachers are like, all right, be quiet, shut up, stop running around. Read this stupid book that you don't give two shits about, that your brain does not give two shits about. Whereas a lot of boys, in my opinion, all the boys I knew when I was a kid, they were active and energetic. They wanted to blow things up. They wanted to climb trees. So that was how I saw boys when I was younger. Boys wanted to do that, and girls usually wanted to sit around and talk and talk and talk and talk. And the girls were more, what's the word, like passive, I suppose. And this is great for academia for girls. They can go and they can talk about, I don't know, feminist studies and psychology and history and all this other stuff. But the boys were so active, and you send them into public school and tell them to shut up and sit down and learn this thing that they hate, right? You got to learn this thing that you hate. And you know how much damage that does to your brain to have to learn something you hate? It makes no sense. So anyways, it's real bad for boys in my opinion. And you need to be out there not trying to be an employee. You need to be out there starting your business, because the business is your asset. When you're an employee, you're working on another man's asset. See, this is one of the key ideas I learned when I was working for Coca-Cola. When I was working for Coca-Cola, I was reading tons and tons and tons of finance books, and they all kind of conclude the same thing at some point. If you want to be wealthy, if you again, we were talking about the exponential curve, the wage gap. If you want to be wealthy, you need to be working on your own assets. You need to be working on your stuff. That could mean having a nice job at Coca-Cola, sure. And in that case, you would still be working on Coca-Cola's assets. But when you get paid, you need to be taking that money and you need to be buying, like, you need to be taking a really good position on some kind of investment, and that investment is your asset. Okay, so you need to be working on your asset all the time. That's like this whole secret to becoming wealthy that they just don't even talk about. Nobody tells you about it. Your parents don't tell you about it. You just have to read like the right books and you learn about it. You always need to be working on your own assets. And wealthy people are really good at getting other people to work on their assets for them. They're like, here, this is my business. I will pay you $7 an hour to operate my business and make me rich. You need to be taking your $7 an hour and either starting your own competing business, or you need to start investing it in the stock market until you have a nice, see what I'm saying? People take that money instead and they just make up more people rich. You buy your sneakers from whatever it is, Nike. You buy your sneakers from Nike, and then Nike turns some huge marginal profit on you, and they, some rich guy's rubbing his hands together. Wow, look at all these stupid people buying sneakers with my logo on it. It's just a pair of, cotton and rubber. But people spend ridiculous amounts of money to have that logo, and they just love it over there. You're making them so rich buying that stuff. So you want to talk about the exponential growth of the wealthy and the fact that the poor just lag further and further behind? Yeah, I think that the poor are just not educated on finances pretty much at all. And I expect the line to get worse, where the wealthy run further away and the poor fall further behind. And that's because you're all watching, I don't know, anime or whatever it is you do. People are always asking, what's your favorite anime? No, I'm at home watching finance videos. All day I'm watching finance videos. But I don't have time for anime. And when I'm not watching it, when I'm not watching finance videos, I'm here entertaining you, earning my money so that I can go buy an investment. So it's all about working on your assets, and that's how you climb that. The curve exists for everyone. You can start climbing the curve in your own way. Maybe you start behind. But you know what? One day you will be 60 years old as well. A lot of these people at the top of the curve, they're old. They're like super old. 50, 60, 70. They've had all this time to operate a business and climb their way up there. You're young. You're like 20. You've got 40 years ahead of yourself. So you can spend the next 40 years climbing that curve. And then when you're on your deathbed, you take all that money you saved up and you hand it off to your heirs. Remember I told you have 3 kids because you need to actually go have a wife, not a husband. Go have your 3 kids, tell them, here's my successful business and the assets I developed, which is about whatever, like $3 million. Don't be fuck ups. Invest this money properly, and over the course of your 40 years, you can invest it as well and turn it even into more money. So people get so mad about the wealth gap, and then they don't do the things that would help them actually become wealthy. It's so silly. Let's go ahead. I'm sorry. See, I'm on a rant. I love ranting about this kind of stuff. JC says, I was working, helping my parents, then went to university, worked for an architect, then worked for my parents' business for 6 years. Now I run my own shop. Well, there you go, JC. See, JC's running a shop. That's really good. It's all about owning an asset, guys. You have to own something. And if you're not going to own like a company, if you're not going to start a business, a small business, if you're not going to be a landlord, if you're not going to do those things, just make sure that you're climbing a corporate ladder. Make sure you're climbing a successful company. Coca-Cola probably would have taken good care of me. Pick a good company, get in there, whatever position you're taking in there, and start working your way up. Spend less than you earn, buy as much of an asset as you can. An asset might include stock, and then just keep going the whole way. Be a net buyer of stock. When the stock market dips, keep buying. When the stock market is growing, keep buying. You just buy, 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 buy. Spend your money on something that pays you. Don't spend your money on sneakers. It's so stupid. Don't spend your money on like a luxury car. It's one of the things that people lose money faster on than anything else is a nice car. Don't buy yourself a nice car. Buy yourself an economical car, and, tell chicks you're rich. Don't tell them, oh, look at this fancy ass car. Tell them, look, I actually have money in the bank. You know what I mean? That'll get women turned on too. They'll be like, oh my God, he's got money. You can be like, yeah, I just don't spend it on cars. It's stupid to spend it on cars. You see what I'm saying? The moment you buy a car, it just immediately depreciates in value. So the things that people waste a lot of their money on, number 1 is cars. Number 2 is buying a house that's too big and buying a house on a loan. So people believe that it's normal to buy a YouTube channel for TheGameconomist. Hopefully. So if I have children, I'm hoping that I can hand this YouTube channel over to them as an asset that I built up, and they can just take it and they basically have a job. You know what I mean? And they won't even have to go to college. I'll just tell them, look, don't go to college. It's a waste of money. Here's my YouTube channel. Get to work on it. It's yours, and you can just have a solid job from now on. So anyways, yeah, I want the Cybertruck, actually. Buy a Tesla, poggers. I want a Cybertruck. But the truth is, cars are like one of the biggest things that keep you poor. You buy a useless fancy car that puts you into an enormous amount of debt, and then you spend not only too much on the thing that gets you from point A to point B, but you also bought this other thing called a car loan. That is another thing you bought. And the car loan takes a chunk of interest over the next, whatever it is, like 5 years. It turns out that chunk of interest is massive. And the interest just completely ruins your ability to become wealthy. So unless you're like super wealthy, if you're part of like the top X, like whatever, 3% of wealthy people, you should just never be buying fancy luxury item. It's a luxury item. Okay, so that's actually how I classify things that I buy. I ask myself, is this a necessity or is it a luxury? So when I go shopping for a car, if the car is too expensive, I say, where's the money in this car going? Is it going toward luxuries, or is it going toward an engine that will last longer? And that's kind of how I decide to make my purchase. When my wife and I move to our next home, our goal is to not pull out a mortgage on the next home. Our goal is to save up 100% of what you would need in order to move, and then to just buy the house outright in cash and not have a mortgage at all. And that's because whenever you pull out a loan, you're like a profit vehicle for whoever made the loan. You just some bank, right? So you just sit there in debt, and they just, for the rest of your life, they just suck you dry like a battery. When you should be taking all of your money, and you should be using it to buy your own assets for profit, like stocks. I wouldn't buy bonds, honestly, but stocks definitely. Mutual funds. So all that's... I don't know if any of this conversation is boring to some people, too. That's what I'm curious about. It surprises me all the time that people aren't more interested in finance, but it's literally the thing that will make you rich and allow you to do things like go on fancy vacations, have a sexy girlfriend. You don't get to have a sexy girlfriend if you're poor, by the way. So, we talked a little bit about how I feel about feminism and all that stuff, but you actually have to be a good provider, by the way. That's part of having a nice wife and all that stuff. I was talking about how men need to be providers and all that. And I mentioned this thing. It's like, if you're not more powerful than the woman you're trying to get with, why would she want to get with you? The vast majority of women want to be with a man who's stronger than her. So, and one of the main things women look for is how successful is the man? How much money does he have? What kind of business prospects? You don't necessarily have to be wealthy, but you have to clearly be intelligent and hardworking, and they will find that attractive in its own way. They'll be like, all right, well, he has the potential to be wealthy. And so all of that's really important for being able to find yourself a really good partner. And finding yourself a really good partner is also part of being wealthy and successful. You want to make sure that you have a wife that understands all the same things you do about asset development, and rather than a wife who just takes all your money and wastes it on whatever she's addicted to. It's always an addiction. Addicted to clothing, addicted to drugs, addicted to food, addicted to vacations, addicted to luxury items. You have to make sure that whoever you're getting into a relationship doesn't have these problems, and neither do you. And then you just take all your money and put them into investments. And then one day, you're old and you're rich, and you have your 3 children, and you tell your children, here is all my wealth. Please don't waste it. What's the point in having money if you can't use it on the things you enjoy, Hayden? Well, that's a great question, Hayden, and I think that there's always this balancing act between enjoying things in life, kind of this concept I would call hedonism, versus another concept called probably like conservatism, or maybe you would like to call it like efficiency. I don't know exactly what I would call it. There needs to be a word for it. But hedonism is where you think about life in terms of how does this feel good for me, whereas conservatism is how do I set things up so that people are taken care of. How do I set up the human race so that it's well taken care of? And so I think that people have different personalities where they naturally think about one of those more than the other. For me personally, I lean more on the like conservative side. I'm more financially conservative. My first questions are always about survival. Do we have enough food? Do we have enough shelter? And then the other thing I do almost all the time is I ask myself, where will everything be in 30 years? Where will everything be in 100 years? So one of the things I already think a lot about is, if I can create a trust fund for my children, how can I make it so that the trust fund lives way past me? I mean, like, I want it to live generations past me. So I would love to have a trust fund full of, who knows, maybe like $3 million. And then I would like the trust fund to be distributed by a lawyer, but I would like for it to last many generations, not just one generation, so that I know that my heirs are well taken care of. And then, you wake up one day and you find out, oh my God, I'm rich. What happened? Oh, Daddy Economist happened to be thinking about me 100 years before I existed. So if you're capable of doing that, you're going to do a better job setting up a system to take care of people, and then they're just going to wake up and find out that they're happy and wealthy rather than struggling to survive and sad. I think that's actually a big reason why some countries just do not do so well. I think that they don't think about their children. You get the mothers and the fathers are abandoning their children instead of sacrificing for the children. Because that's one of the issues when it comes to conservatism. Almost always you have to choose to make a sacrifice and be the person who didn't get to live the life of luxury. You kind of have to make the choice that you're going to be the person who suffers and works really, really, really hard. And rather than going on your fancy vacations, you put the money away into a savings account. So somebody has to do it. This is one of the things that always drives me nuts when people hate the wealthy. They're always like, he was born into wealth. It's like, true, but somebody in his family line did the hard work of becoming wealthy. So maybe the child didn't have to suffer like you did, but mom or dad did, or somewhere one of his ancestors did the suffering. And so that could be you. You could be the ancestor who does the suffering and makes his children wealthy. But you have to kind of make that choice to do that. You can make that choice right now. You can say, I'm not going to live as comfortably as I could because I want to make sure that my heirs are wealthy and everyone hates them. But you have to make that choice, and people they don't even think about it. You know what you're thinking about? You're thinking about your history. You're thinking about your next history test. You're thinking about your next English literature test. You're thinking about the powerhouse of the cell, right? Or whatever stupid biology thing you learned. Biology, chemistry. I don't hate those subjects, but if you're not going to become a biologist or a chemist, why the frick are you learning them? I think one of the things that bothers me the most about education, anytime your brain is resisting what you're learning, is because your brain doesn't care. You don't care, and if you don't care about it, you will actually really always struggle to learn whatever the heck it is. Okay, your brain kind of naturally knows what it's passionate about, and when you don't feel like learning something at school, that's your brain telling you, this is useless information, get rid of it. That's your brain saying, I'm never going to do this because I don't find it to be something I'm passionate about. So your brain's never going to do that thing, and you're just trying to, it's like trying to force a square through a round hole. It doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. You're just cramming it through. Your parents tell you to do it, and it's good for you. That's what you're told. Oh, you have to get good grades. Oh, you have to. That's education right now. That's how education works. Rather than just pursuing the thing that you're really interested in, the way education currently works is you have to take everything and you have to get a good grade in everything. That's the weirdest part. So you're judged based on your cumulative grade in school. That's how it works. They judge you based on how well you did in all your courses. But it's like inevitably many of these courses you just don't give two craps about, and you're not going. If you don't enjoy it, I promise you, you're not going to get a good grade unless you're like this weird person who sits around and does nothing but read. Well, look at MG Viral. I can't heal him. So if you're somebody who just sits around and reads books, I would call you like an academic. You're somebody who belongs in academia, but the vast majority of the population is not supposed to be in academia. The vast majority of the population is supposed to be working. They're supposed to be inventing something or selling something or doing something physical that's useful, right? Labor. They're supposed to be doing some form of work, and instead they're busy trying to, learn about some stupid thing in sociology or psychology or whatever philosophy. So yeah, that's a really long rant. I've gone on a really long rant, but the whole issue of the wage gap, we could try to lower the wage gap by simply taking money from the wealthy. I think there's a certain amount of that you could get away with before the wealthy say it's time for us to go, time for us to shelter our money. You could probably increase taxes to look a little more like Europe. You wouldn't want to have more taxes than Europe because at that point people will say, well, why don't I just live in Europe? Because in America, we're extremely divided. There's a lot of hostility across sex, across classes, across race. And the way I see it, if you can just find out what place in Europe that this doesn't occur so much and you're paying the same taxes anyways, you would just then move to Europe. So America has to have lower taxes or else I think America will collapse if it doesn't. I think America and Europe underestimate how much brain drain occurred between them. All the smart people went over to America to pay less taxes and start a business because they're wild, wild west entrepreneurs. If you get rid of that, why won't they just return to Europe? I mean, I would. I think about it all the time. If they raise the taxes high in America, I'm heading straight over to Europe. There's nothing here keeping me here. There's nothing here that's like, oh man, I gotta have McDonald's hamburgers and Elizabeth Warren sexism. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was a very long rant, and I wish that people were better educated on how they think about money and how they think about becoming productive, how they think about here's what I'm passionate about, here's the problems I can solve. I wish that people were capable of thinking in terms of building assets, which is exactly how you get wealthy. You never get wealthy building another man's asset. I mean, if you're working for Coca-Cola and you climb the corporate ladder and then you take all your income and you buy stock, that's fine. But if all you do is go to work every day and then buy products like sneakers, you will be very poor your whole life. And then you will be asking, well, why am I not wealthy? I live in America. And it's because you didn't build an asset. So it will be just like that. Rieger says, off-topic question, is there space in the session? Yeah, it looks like there is, but I think I'm probably going to wrap up soon enough. Europe has terrorists. Yeah, I guess you could argue America has had terrorism too, though. EK says Europe. What country, though? Ooh, good, great question. I'm curious about plenty of places in Europe. I thought about moving to Scotland. Found out Scotland's really cold and rainy, and I don't think my wife would like that so much. But I would be open-minded to moving to Britain, to the UK. I would be somewhat open-minded to moving to Ireland and Germany as well. Those would be the main places I'm interested in. Taxes are really high in Europe. We have 35% on electronics. Yikes, man. Kabetsu says, feeling like I'm NGMI, but it do be like that sometimes. Trent says, I think your comment on getting a partner is really twisted. You can find a beautiful partner without being rich. The way you portrayed finding women is a great way to find gold diggers. I think you will find that all women are essentially gold diggers. I think that the actual term gold digger is the derogatory term. I don't think that women go out of their way to marry poor men. I wouldn't. I wouldn't go out of my way to marry ugly women. I think that people are being insincere when they say that any woman who wants a wealthy husband is a gold digger. The reality is we all try to find somebody to date who is above us. We try to date up, right? And dating up means finding somebody who's wealthier than you. So calling them gold diggers is the derogatory term. And I think everyone does try to look for a wealthy man and a good-looking man too. So both things, right? Good-looking and wealthy. But I think especially for women, the wealthy part takes place before the good looks do. There's like a balance. So he can be a little more ugly as long as he's a little more rich. Whereas for men, it's kind of flipped around. She doesn't have to be super rich, but she better be good-looking. And if she's really poor, she better be really good-looking. See what I'm saying? So I'm a realist. I think that's actually how it works. You can disagree, but I am a realist. So Scotland is a beautiful country. Not only is Scotland a beautiful country, I love redheads. I don't mind being around them, and I like the Scottish accent. So lots of good things. Charlie Sheet says, things I can do with the Monster Hunter even without Iceborne, just finished everything in the base game. I don't know, man. I have the same problem as you do, Charlie. I guess we're waiting for Master Rank Kolp Taroth, and we're waiting for Elatrion. Opsy Dopser says, guess who's back? Tigerbite says, $1 in American is a lot for many poor countries around the world, you know? Yeah, actually, I've heard about that. Somebody commented to me about that. They wanted to make a donation to me, but they were talking about how U.S. dollars are so expensive that it would be hard for their donation to be meaningful. And I was like, Jesus, I had no idea. Salute says, what do you think about people who think that video games are a waste of time? Well, they're right, but the thing is, everybody does waste some time. So I talk about this concept I have between using your time conservatively versus using your time for, it's a strong term, but hedonistically. So you're given a set amount of time before you die. That's true, by the way. So you're all going to die. All of you, I'm going to die. You have a limited number of hours to do things, and you can allot a certain amount of time for time wasting and a certain amount of time for productivity. So you get to choose between being conservative with your time and taking care of your children and your wealth versus spending some of your time, jerking off and playing Monster Hunter, which is essentially what Monster Hunter is. It's a jerk off. Video games are jerking off. Absolutely not productive at all. It's all fake. It's a 2D image that you manipulate with the controller and you get a sense of novelty out of it. That's what a video game is. But again, I would agree that you do not want to spend 100% of your time just grinding at work, because people ask, well, what's the point of living if I just don't even get to spend any money on myself? So the trick is to strike a balance. Play some games, do lots of work, be very productive. Play some games, be very productive. I find that having an outlet to kind of escape reality and the grind is very important. It's kind of like rest. So I think when somebody says video games are a waste of time, technically they're right. It is a waste of time, but it's also, I think, my way of relaxing and having some form of escapism. Now, I also think the other problem that occurs is you get plenty of young men who do nothing but play games, and they need to be grabbed by the shoulders and shaked really hard, and then they just need to be yelled at really loudly, and then they need to be smacked right across the face and be like, go out there and do something for the world. You know what I mean? You can't just play games all day. And they can be all offended because I think some guys actually do get offended when you judge them at all when it comes to playing games. Like, you can't judge me for playing games. That's not the future. We're 2020, man. And you're looking for somebody to maybe affirm that you can just play games all day and there's no judgment. It's like, nope, there's definitely judgment. You have to go out, you have to earn money, you have to have 3 kids. Like I was saying in the previous stream, you have to have 3 kids, which means you need to impress a lady with your income. You need to solve some problems for society. You need to provide some services for society. And then on your off time, you play some video games. Or you can be like me. You can drink energy drinks and play video games 24 hours a day because you're a streamer. So, super big hypocrite, right? But I find video games to be a totally legit waste of time because what else are you going to do? Watch the Joker movie? That Joker movie, and lots of movies are definitely a bigger waste of time than video games. I feel at least video games force me to use my brain. When I watch like a movie, most of the time I'm not using my brain when I watch a movie. So, movie or TV show. Oh my God, he's gonna kill me. Okay, I'm still alive. That's that suicide mantle. Anyways, so yeah, I find that it is a waste of time, but you need to waste a little bit of time to rest, and you might as well do something you enjoy. Just don't do it too much. Make sure you have a career. Make sure you're doing things the right way, right? Just like your parents tell you. Why 3 kids? Tim, the reason you need 3 kids is because there's a fair likelihood that one of your kids is unsuccessful or maybe dies early in a car crash. Could be any number of things. So you have 3 to make sure that you're capable of replacing yourself and your wife. So you would think that 2 replaces you and your wife, but if one of your children dies in a car accident or to coronavirus or whatever, then you really actually only had 1 kid, and that's not enough for replacement. So you have to have 3. 3 is the correct number. Instead of playing games, you can invest the time to study something on your own that profits you. Oh yeah, you can do studying for sure. Like I said, what I like to do is after I've got some work done on this YouTube channel, I will take a break and stretch a little bit, and I'll have a meal, and then I'll turn on the television and I'll actually usually watch something about. Lately, I've been watching enormous amounts of content on gold, silver, Bitcoin, and card collecting, like baseball cards, in order to understand alternative assets better, because that's what I do on my other YouTube channel. We do alternative assets. We do Pokemon cards, and I found it to be a totally legit form of investment over the last 9 months. A lot of the things I've bought with Pokemon cards have strongly outperformed the stock market, like oftentimes just doubling my money. Literally just straight. The best one I've had, I got these 2 cards. This is Dark Blastoise. I bought 2 of them. I think I shared this with you guys yesterday. I bought 2 of them at one was like $1,000 and the other one was like $700, and I think they're valued at about $4,000 now. Absolutely crazy. I wish I'd just bought a bazillion of them, honestly. 3 kids just in case one is a beta. That's right, Arson. Arson's figured it out. 3 child, okay, but what do you think about overpopulation? Yeah, overpopulation could be a problem. I think that you will have cases where it fluctuates between too many and not enough. I think what you see in Japan is a great example of actually like depopulation. They're not keeping up, and if their economy shrinks and their population shrinks, I think that can be okay, but they really do need to protect their culture and they need to protect their land if they do that. And Japan does that. Other countries do not do that. Other countries decide, oh, we're shrinking, let's import a bunch of people who don't share any of our cultural values to replace us. So that's the first thing. I'm actually strong on nationalism. I don't believe in globalism at all. Actually, I used to be mixed, and I think I used to lean more toward globalism when I was in college. Totally for nationalism now. Don't believe in globalism, especially in light of the coronavirus. I don't believe in it at all. I believe all nations are in a constant competition over limited resources. So anyways, you can have your population shrink, but you need to make sure that your politicians don't then import kind of almost like a slave class of poor people to basically decimate the labor jobs. So you have labor jobs in your country that pay a certain wage that reflects what you should earn in your country, and what Republican corporations, or what would you call them? Yeah, just Republican corporations tend to do is they tend to import a ton of people from around the world who are much poorer than you, who will then do the job for nothing. And by increasing the number of workers available, they drive down the wages. And what's really sad is we also have the same problem on the left now, where they've realized they can import a lot of poor people into your country, and this will allow them to entice the people who they've brought in with socialism. They say, we will buy you all the things because you're poor, please vote for us. So you're getting pretty much screwed from both sides, and the labor market absolutely decimated. Your welfare programs cannot handle the influx of new people. You've paid all of the welfare. You and your ancestors paid all of the taxes for the welfare, and then instead of going toward you so that you can have a family, it goes toward the class that they're importing. So Japan has it right. Japan, they're like depopulating. They're shrinking fast because nobody's having kids. But their rules is you can come in and you can work here, but you're just not a Japanese citizen. You have other countries like the U.S. are doing it completely wrong. We just soak up everyone else's homeless people. And we have the second worst debt in the world, I think. We have like the second worst debt in the world, where I feel the U.S. is ready for like a civil war, basically. Basically is already ongoing. It's a non-violent civil war in the U.S. over competing ideologies and competing cultures. I find that when a country is very well mixed, what you don't find is everyone peacefully coexisting. You find dominant cultures trying to overtake each other. So I don't think it works at all. I completely reject globalism. I don't think it works even a little bit. GC would execute his beta child, I swear. That's right. Please do compilation or another YouTube channel. I enjoy this content so much. See ya in 20 years when you'll have minority becoming equal, if not bigger, than the numbers of native citizens. Some people in UK make more kids to get money from the government. I've heard about that. I heard of that being an issue in Sweden as well. We have that problem in America. There was a Mormon group in Utah, and they understood all of the laws on like having dependents, having children, giving you like basically welfare and a ton of tax. What do they call them? Like rebates or whatever. And so what they would do is this particular Mormon group, it was like an offshoot Mormon group that believed in polygamy. You would have one dude with like 6 wives, and they would all be manipulating the tax code and welfare to just have so many unfair benefits despite being illegally married to like 6 women. You know, America doesn't allow that. America doesn't allow polygamy. It's not in our, we don't allow it in our laws. So I've heard Sweden's had the issue. I wouldn't be surprised to find out other European countries have the same issue. Speaking of which, it's a great topic, by the way. What do you guys think of polyamory? It's great. It's a very interesting subject. Actually, we're 2 hours and 48 minutes into the live stream. Maybe we should take a break there and wrap up, because I should probably go to bed soon. It's like 7 a.m. in the morning. I haven't gone to bed. Armando says, I'm going to Japan because of all those men be dating their anime waifus while I'm going to be having fun with the Japanese women. Oh my gosh, Armando. All right. Well, you know, and if you really feel that way, the Japanese men should actually reject you. The correct response, if you want to talk about a natural biological response, the Japanese men should realize that they're falling behind in that sense, sort of in the masculine sense. And when you kind of grab that back, when you take that sort of masculinity back, you say, get out of here, these are my women, I'll take your women instead, how about that? You know, it's a competition. Anyways, that's my feelings. Feel free to disagree. I'm going to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.